Maybe. Well, hello, if we're live, welcome to our Thursday, October
Hello,
the
everyone.
4th? I think it's the 4th. Or is it the 9th? No, it's the 4th.
Yes, it's October 4th.
Okay, October 4th. Let me see. I'm trying to think, when was our last broadcast? Was it last Thursday?
I think so.
It was. We've just done a lot since then, because we've been in Kansas City. We just got back.
Hello, Sister Biscuit.
Hello, Sister Biscuit. Yeah, we've been away at the Kansas City Renaissance Festival, so we have
I
not
had
had
a
a lot
really,
of
really
technology.
good time.
Yes, I did too. We got to see some of our Twitch people there, and that's always fun. A lot of Patreon people too. That was cool.
Oh, somebody already hit raffle.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
go ahead and set that up.
Remember, folks who don't know about computers all the time,
All
you
right.
have to the system has to start, and then you can hit raffle. Otherwise, it won't count it.
We got a
Yes,
we got a
there's
good day
software program,
from
so.
Perth, Australia.
Oh wow! What time is it down there?
I don't know.
Or up there, depending how you look at it. Well, I'm guessing it's probably about 12 hours difference.
I will open the raffle.
Oh.
And
Yes,
reset
open
the
the raffle now. We'll get to the raffle
All
prizes
right.
in a
The
minute.
raffle should work now, folks. I apologize.
Yes, and I'll talk about the raffle prizes in just a moment. I'm still doing some outlining here, so give me a minute. Speaking of which, we might have some people who won the raffle last time who we have not heard from yet. So Matt will be reiterating who won last time in case you missed out.
Yeah, sometimes people leave the chat room.
Yeah, oh
before
yeah.
they
Some
win,
people have to go to
and
work, or they
I
live in
don't know their
Australia and they've
email,
got to
I send
gotta
them
go to sleep.
I send them a little Twitch message, whatever it's called.
Yeah, we always send. What are they called here?
Now I don't remember.
Isn't it called Winks or something? Or wait, no.
I think that's Match.com.
Well, it could be matchmaking.
Whispers.
Whispers, that's it. Yeah.
That is not a creepy term at all.
Okay, I think whisper is kind of creepier than a wink. You've got to be really close to somebody to whisper at them, but not necessarily to wink.
Bren Girl says she loves Thursdays.
Yay!
But yes, we had a very, very good time at the Renaissance Festival.
We did. We had fun. We had a very busy time at the Renaissance Festival.
It was very busy for Jasmine.
think we had a record.
I kept busy too.
Yeah, Matt was busy.
I was
too.
busy. I got to hang out a lot with my niece and nephews.
Yes, we have
I kind of made it my priority.
A lot of family there at the Ren Fair, so that's always kind of our fun when we go there, is getting to see everybody.
We saw a little. We saw a show with this little fox puppet.
I didn't. Matt and my
yes,
niece and nephew,
my niece and nephew, and it was the most adorable thing ever. And we acted out just like they that show would want us to. You know, it's one of those things where kids might sing songs along with the cute little puppet,
Fox and
we
Willow
did that.
were cooperative, yeah.
So I'm sure he was very appreciative of the guy working the booth.
Well, I know you actually got one of the fox puppets for Willow too.
I bought a fox stuffed animal, and also
not to be confused, my nephew is named Fox, and there's also
that
a
was
fox
one of the draws.
puppet. Yes.
That's one of the reasons we went there.
Yeah.
But besides that, he gave us a CD because I was a generous tipper.
Yeah, we're always the generous tippers at the Ren Fair.
It's because we've been there
Yeah,
in one
exactly.
way or another.
Very true.
Jasmine was a server when I met her.
Oh yes, I was.
Yes,
I used to work at a diner. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was
Do you not want to say
17.
what name it is, or?
Nah, not
I
really.
won't say what name it is, but it was in Kansas City, and it's kind of had a 1950s-ish motif.
Yeah, this is before and after I worked at Dairy Queen. So I worked at Dairy Queen a couple times.
Dairy Queen is a serial job. You just keep going back.
Yeah.
Jasmine might be working at Dairy Queen next
You
week.
never know.
Hi, Kaza. Hi, Layla. If I haven't said hello to anyone, I apologize.
I'm
Hello.
glad you're home and doing good.
Hello to everyone. Yes, we had a great time again at the Ren Fair.
Yep.
The next thing we're gonna do is the Artisan Showcase and that is in California.
Yes.
At their downtown Disney.
Not to be confused with Disney Springs in Florida.
No, this is in California.
This is in California.
Don't show up in Florida and expect to see Jasmine.
Every time a handful of people show up at the wrong one, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't see the California part." But yes, it'll be the Wonderground Gallery in California, October 12th and 13th.
Yes.
Now, the Renaissance Festival in Kansas City is still going. I'm just not at it this coming weekend because I'm in California.
And those two places have something in common. Actually, those three places we mentioned. The ones that you're at and the ones you aren't at, they're all really fun to be, whether Jasmine's
that's true.
there or
Even
not.
whether I'm there or not, they're still fun places to visit. So, and they have my artwork there, whether I'm there or not.
Wow, Shellfog says it's 4 o'clock in Perth.
In the morning?
It's 4 a.m. Shellfog,
wow.
Go back to sleep.
Yeah. We're good on you for waking up early.
Yes. I woke up very early myself this morning. I had
we
a lot of
tend
work
to around
to
here.
catch up on.
Yeah.
When Jasmine and I are gone for any number of days, I come back and there is just a mountain of work.
Yeah.
And I knew that Twitch was coming up.
That's the thing.
And
orders don't go away just because we're on vacation.
I still have to do some catch up, and then off we are again next week to
getting ready to
California.
Leave. So next week we won't be broadcasting on Thursday like usual. We're going to be doing it on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, if you want to hop in and visit us on Tuesday, and are we just going to do that for 3 hours?
Well, it'll just be 3 hours because we have to start packing things for California that night, I think. So but otherwise we wouldn't get another one in between now and California. So
super
it'll be
busy.
next Tuesday. And then after that, we're actually going to do a Sunday again because we're in California for a while, and we want to make sure we get one in between California and England. So it's a bit patchy. Autumn's always kind of a crazy time for us because we travel a lot.
Jasmine.
Of course, says summer, it says winter, it says spring.
Lisa says she's hoping to go to the Anaheim show.
Yay!
And thanks so much for all your help with the order.
Oh, of course.
You're very welcome, Lisa, and thank you. Thank you so much for putting up that very sweet message on Facebook.
Oh yes, I
that was
saw
very
that. I was
kind
glad
of
we
you.
were able
I'm
to help
happy that
you
we're
out.
able to help out.
We do our best. We're not a big company, but we do our best.
We are not a big company, but we try to put our heads together and and fix
figure
whatever
things out.
Kitten says Tuesday is good because she always misses the end because of pottery class.
Okay.
And I think she's referring to Harry Potter.
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
Potions class.
How to be a better Harry Potter, and they call that pottery class.
Oh, okay. Yes. But yeah, next Tuesday, and it will probably just be another 3-hour one. We're a 3-hour show today too. I didn't know that originally, but then I realized today was the 4th, and I'm supposed to do some video conference call with a licensing meeting today, this evening. So
yes,
which is
the
not
benefit,
very exciting.
And I guess it's the benefit and also the
detriment
to the individual.
I know it's not as fun as Twitch, but I still have to talk to people.
Is you can't.
And if you're watching, honestly, it's going to be a lot of fun licensing people, but no.
You can't really. I mean, the look. Right now we're on Twitch. You know,
exactly.
How many countries is my voice talking
Precisely.
to? So there you go.
Yeah.
So Kitten says, "Yep, she makes potion bottles. Go Ravenclaw."
Hey, all right. I think I'm Ravenclaw.
Bob Argal says Twitch is not cooperating today. Everything keeps freezing.
You know when that happens?
Sorry about that.
Close it, open it up again, and give it another shot.
Just
Believe it or not, that
know in the room.
works often.
I am right there with you. I watch the same broadcast that you guys see. So
unless it's something wrong with like your individual.
I can tell whether it's something wrong on our end because I watch a normal broadcast.
Yes, Matt has a screen that is the public broadcast that he watches, so we know if there is a problem with, like if there was a storm here or something, we'd be able to tell if we went out.
Correct.
But if it's not, then we usually will recommend to close it and open it again, and that will
Thank you so much, Nikki. 6 months in a row. My gosh.
Magic noise. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Nikki. Yay.
We are at 59 viewers. It's
already. Oh, for heaven's sake. Thank you, everybody. You might recognize this painting. It's funny.
If we have to close and open, do we need to re-enter the raffle? No, Angel. Their name is No Angel.
Okay.
So Jasmine.
Okay. See, I can't see the screen.
It doesn't take but a few keystrokes to enter the raffle again.
Yeah.
So why not? Sure, go ahead and
I'm
re-enter the
pretty
raffle.
sure.
It does
I
not
think
bother
we.
Moobot.
I think eventually we figured out that it actually remembers you from when you did it earlier, but it doesn't hurt to enter it twice. It doesn't give you 2 entries, but it makes sure that you entered in case you weren't sure you spelled it right, or you get kicked out and have to come
Hi,
back
Lori.
in.
I hope you enjoy your ACEO.
Oh,
I got that shipped out
ooh! I hope
bright
you do
and early.
too.
No, kind
Excellent.
of bright and early.
Yay! I was originally going to try to do another mini painting here
Ooh, they're
tonight,
making
but I
ramen
think I
balls.
ran out of time.
Well, you don't have that extra hour.
I don't. I was planning the last hour to do like a little mini painting, do another custom one where somebody gets to decide. But so I'll probably try to do that on Tuesday. So if anybody's wanting to get a custom mini or watch me paint one, next Tuesday will be your best bet.
All right, and of course we're going to be at Whitby.
Yes. Yeah.
October
that's the thing.
26th, 27th.
Are we here
and
for
28th.
like 4 days in Florida, in between California and England?
Really?
It's something crazy like that. That's nuts.
Man.
So there,
So
yeah,
be
like I
patient,
said, it'll be a bit
people with orders.
spotty.
Be
Yeah.
really patient with us.
Yeah, we do our best.
I will email you and let you know the timeline.
Most orders, if things for paper prints and books and stuff like that are already made, we can
Paper
send
prints,
them out.
canvas
Yeah,
cuties,
canvas cuties,
pins,
pins, stuff like that. They
Basically,
go out like usual.
a lot of the originals and or
Yeah,
limited
we only
editions.
ever get slowed down if it's something I have to physically paint on.
Yeah.
Because I sign things ahead of time. I sign the backs of the prints ahead of time. I sign the books ahead of time. But things like the hand-embellished canvases and the ACOs and things like that, those have to have me there because I have to be the one to paint it on. You
Right.
don't want my sister-in-law to like paint it and sign my name. So you want me to be the one who's doing that. So when we are on the road, sometimes it does take a week or two, but never more than that.
Oh, we got a person from Sweden.
Oh, wow.
Sweden. What is that? How they say Sweden in Swedish?
Sverige?
Sverige?
Yes,
Sverige,
I should know this. I have
or something.
some family from. I have family from everywhere, but I do have some family
Shell
from
has
Sweden.
to head to her studio space at university.
Oh, that sounds fun. Sounds like a good
A
university.
wet
to have
England is here
studio space.
watching.
What's
as
that? Love?
Osman says.
I didn't hear you, love.
A wet England.
It's dry here in Florida, but it's getting very windy, so I'm getting suspicious. It might start storming.
When are you going to be in Disney, California? Wow, we
Just talked about that for 10
time.
minutes. No, I'll be there October 12th and 13th.
12th and
So
13th.
that's actually why we're not going to
Are
be
you gonna come see
here
us?
next weekend, because we're going to be in, or this weekend after next, because we're going to be in California. So
That's sometimes the people that stay with us for a few hours. That's sometimes why we repeat things.
yeah.
People come in.
Might just be joining us.
come
Maybe
in
they
and
have
out,
to work
in and
until
out.
later, or they just hopped in at the last minute. And absolutely, we will be in California at Disney's Wonderground Gallery at Disneyland, downtown Disney. And you don't need a ticket to get in. It's not part of Disneyland that you have to actually have a ticket. It's like before
Right.
you get there,
So
where
I
the
hope-
shops
we
and
hope to see you
restaurants
there,
and things are.
Lori.
So,
That'd
yeah,
be awesome.
that would be great. I'll be there. Oh, let me think. I think it's 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock on the 12th of October, and then 2 to 5 on the 13th. So basically that Friday night and that Saturday midday afternoon time, I'll be there. And I'm doing the special thing Matt mentioned earlier that's called an artisan showcase at Wonderground.
Yes, now tell us a little bit about the Artisan Showcase. Why is it different than when people would go there normally and see Jasmine art?
That's
What sort
a
of...
very good question, man.
Yes.
But it is different at the Wonderground Gallery because, as most of you know, Wonderground Galleries are owned by Disney. They have Disney character art. Everything you see in there is made by a Disney artist and has Disney characters on it. They do a special sort of spotlight event with some of the artists, well, with me at least, I think they do it with other people, at Disneyland in California, where an artist gets to come in and have their personal artwork there taking up a section of the store in addition to their Disney artwork. So stuff like I'm painting right now, you might see this hanging up at Disneyland, even though it's theoretically a Disney store. It's a way that they showcase the personal and non-Disney artworks of some of the Disney artists who work for them. So you'll see like prints and canvases of things that aren't necessarily the Disney characters that you would usually see there in addition to that. So basically they give me a bigger section of it. It's not a takeover like I do sometimes there, where they kick out everybody and they give me the whole big crazy 3,000 square foot store for a weekend because
Buttercup said they loved it when you.
Yes, I love doing the takeovers, but this year I was like, this is a little bit too close to when I was doing the Corey Helford Gallery show, which was only a few weeks ago, also in Los Angeles, and we just would not have had time to make everything for that. Because all that stuff we have to actually make in our house and bring there.
Oh, thank you so much, Ricardo. Ricardo's saying if you need, you can send my canvas I mailed you about earlier after Whitby.
Oh, golly. No, we'll get it to you before then.
Yeah, we
Don't
should
worry.
be able to, but that is very kind of you.
That is very thoughtful
Layla
of you.
says she got Nigel, a porcelina.
Oh, excellent.
And Allison Starry Night in aluminum finish as a thank you for looking after her.
Oh, how cool. Oh, those
Isn't that sweet?
Those are
from Paul,
those
right?
are neat. I think those are from Paul. Yeah, those are awesome.
And Nikki says, does a line start forming way before the parents' time at Disney? I'm going to say yes.
I personally don't know because they asked me not to come down until my scheduled time. I actually signed a contract saying I'll be there between this time, and that's when I can be there. But based on how the line usually is, I would say it does start early. You might try asking somebody at Disney. They might have a better idea of how it works because I'm usually off property at that time or waiting in my hotel room or usually doing emails or processing orders or something like that. But yeah, I'd recommend coming early. It is with Disney, since I do have scheduled times there, and it is actually contracted for liability and insurance reasons, and I have to sign something. They don't usually let me stay beyond whatever the advertised time is.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Buttercup in the room is recommending 2 hours.
Okay. The thing is, if you get there and there's no line, you can just walk around downtown Disney in the meantime and go look at fun stuff or go to a store
it this year, but the takeover is
the takeovers are crazy. I love doing them. And
yes, and
hopefully we'll do it next year.
Eventually, because Jasmine's there for 10 hours, eventually everyone that comes to see her gets to see her.
And this one is a 2-day
We would always
event.
alert you if there was a takeover.
Yeah, this is kind of like a halfway between a takeover and just the usual meet and greet there.
Is it possible to buy your art here in Sweden? Well, I don't know about any physical locations, Darky80,
you know, I don't have a gallery
you could
there,
always purchase off our website, and I'll
website.
go ahead and put that link in there right now.
Yeah, definitely, because we ship to Sweden quite often. I have a decent amount of fans there. I just don't have a physical location there yet. So it might happen, though. We'll see. But yeah, we ship to the EU, UK, Sweden, Germany, France every day. So we're always welcome to order from wherever, and we'll send it to you. I think I was sketching this one out, this painting here, when you guys saw me last. Did I work on this one or did I not?
You did work on it.
I worked on it for a little bit.
And then you worked on Vampire Dragonland.
Oh, and I finished Vampire Dragonland.
Did you show people the print?
I haven't. I haven't.
First
shown
raffle,
them, I haven't. I should show them the painting that I finished and the raffles also, because that's actually tied into it.
Sammy, we don't do a takeover in Orlando. We have the Pop Gallery.
Yeah, we have the Pop Gallery in
basically
Orlando, which is like an all takeover all the time.
And if you don't see it there, you can just order it.
The Pop Gallery, for those who don't know, is also located. I have 2 galleries here at Disney World in Florida. One has my non-Disney art, that is the Pop Gallery, and one has my Disney art, that's Wonderground Gallery. But California, as far as Disney goes, they only have the Wonderground Gallery, so they just have my Disney art there, unless I'm doing a takeover and artisan showcase. But you folks in California are lucky because you have the Corey Helford Gallery, and that is where my fine art goes, like my big originals when I did the Magical Thinking show a few weeks back. That
was a great show.
That's when it's like, oh, here's everything Jasmine's been working on for 2 years, and you can come see it all in one fell swoop.
Oh, wow. What an endeavor.
That was a fun show. And that one ran for a whole month, and I think just about everything sold at it. I think there might be 1 or 2 small pieces left, or those might be gone too. I'm not sure. But Maddie, if you can grab the Vampire Dragonland, I'm going to show them how it turned out. It's on my big easel over there. You might think this is my big easel, but this is not my big easel. My big easel's over about 10 feet that way. Sometime when I'm working on a larger painting, we'll set up Twitch so that the cameras, we'll have to move a bunch of stuff and lights and things, but I can set it up over there so you can see me work on my big painting. In the meantime, here is the one I finished. And this is the one I had the last few episodes of Twitch. And also this is the one that some of you got to see at the Kansas City Renaissance Fair. I'll show it up here too, and then I'll show you the print. This is a 12 by 16, so it might be, I can't see the screen, but it might be too big to show all at once here at Twitch.
And that original has sold.
Yeah, the original has definitely sold. But we do have the prints up, and the prints are up on my website, and the Masterpiece Edition ones are too. And
yes,
I'm not.
I'll put up a link in a moment.
Yeah, Maddie, you should tell them because I have not told the public about it yet. So if you guys are people who like to get in there early, get the sale price, get the Masterpiece Editions. Again, I think we've at least sold one, and then the first and last one. So there's probably only one or two left up on the website, even though I haven't told anybody yet.
Except people are liking that one.
But here's a print of it. And this might show,
right away.
It's a bit smaller. This is the 8x10 size print. This is actually my color proof that I use when I look at it and I put it next to the painting, and that's when I tell Matt, oh, the background's too green, and we
for
make
you
it
awesome
so
people who are Patreon people, you can get a canvas cutie.
Yes, yeah, we do have canvas cuties on for the Patreon people, but here she is. She's all finished. You can see I finished up the little skulls and put little almost glow. Since the statue she's based on that I designed had the little Swarovski crystals in the eyes, I put a little bit of red in the skull's eyes, kind of a nod to the statue. And the dragon turned out super cute. The dragon was what I was working on at the Renaissance Festival last weekend. And is this our first raffle for today?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
We're actually going to give away the first print of her, and I will autograph it for you also. And this will be our first thing that we're giving away here. And
hearts are all over the screen.
Oh, but she turned out so pretty. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell the lights.
Ian says we're going to bankrupt him.
Aww.
Or his kids will have to starve.
And the dragon's so cute.
You know, it's time to go on a diet, kids.
Okay. Oh. Kids can find food if they just go to the grocery store and ask for free samples.
Yes, and remember, there is a nice there's a nice budget for every, or there's a nice print representation for every budget.
Yeah, these actually are on sale this week. Only $9.99, and each one is signed on the back by me.
Or is that next week?
It's on sale now.
Oh, okay.
It is on sale right now. Amber just told me that it's on the website and the prints are on sale. We've got these ones. We've got big prints.
Previously, it was Raised by Wolves, which was another neat one.
That's still the sale print. Also, what we do is
Thank you for explaining.
That's okay. Not everybody. Nobody probably knows this except for me and Amber. But what we do is we pick one, like a perennial favorite one. Like Raised by Wolves is from 10, 15 years ago, and that's the sale print of the week. But whenever I have new prints that come out, they start off on sale for a whole week automatically. So that's why when people buy them at the beginning, it's kind of worth their while to get one because you save 40% or something crazy. And if you're a Patreon 10 member, that means you get an extra 10% off. So we're basically making about 8 cents every time you buy one. But that will be one of our prizes we're giving away. And what's the prize we're giving away after that, love? Is that one of the? Is that the Jack? I think we're doing more. I'm kind of keeping with a Halloween / Dia de Muertos sort of theme here, so it's the notebook with Jack and Sally because we bought another one of those from Disney World. Yay! And they should be at Disneyland if they're not there yet. They definitely will be on October 12th and 13th when I'm there at Disneyland signing. These are made by Disney World. They are, of course, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, and I got to paint Jack and Sally's portrait. And this is the notebook / diary, and since it's a merchandise line, they don't have prints. A lot of people have been buying the notebooks and just framing the notebook cover instead of a print, and that's fine.
I've heard that was a popular thing to do.
Yes, I've seen quite a few people doing that, and that's fine. Hey, if it's for you, you can do whatever you want with it. But it's got Jack and Sally, and it's got Sally's kitty cat, and it's got Zero, who of course is Jack's dog, and glowing pumpkins, and very lovely. And I will autograph this too, and that will be our second giveaway. And you can buy them also. They're not all that expensive. I want to say at Disney, they're a bit cheaper than they're online. I think they range between $15 to probably $20, something like that. And this is the picture, official Disney picture here. That's not me in the picture. I don't know who it is. Some people kept asking, is that you in the picture? I'm like, no, that's not me. But she's got a lot of cool stuff there. She's got the bag with Jack and Sally, magnets, mugs, wallets, and clothing. And those are all available at Disneyland and Disney World. And then what's the last giveaway? We're doing that pin set, aren't we?
Yes.
Again, kind
Dia
of
de
going
los
with the
Muertos
same
pin set.
Halloween / Dia de Muertos, All Saints Day sort of feel. We have the Dia de Muertos limited edition pin set. And we only have a handful of these left. And it's the first of the limited edition pin sets I've done. This is number 160 of 250. And each of the pins has the 2 locking backs that I put on the back side of all my pins. That way, if anything ever happens to one of the posts, and it won't, these are really tough, you have a backup one, so you won't lose it, like how I lost my Mr. Toad pin, and I was very sad.
Yes.
But here you go. That'll be the last giveaway we do today.
So people want you to paint something ugly,
Oh,
so they don't have to buy it.
Have they seen my painting called Allegory of Decay?
They probably love it, Jasmine.
I think it's lovely, but I've had people write me rude letters about it because it has cockroaches and silverfish, and they were grossed out.
Oh,
by it.
Amber from Nashville is Sister Biscuit.
Oh,
We know
okay.
you, Amber.
See, it's
Like
nice.
forever.
Yeah. Good to see you here, Amber.
Oh, hi, Tammy. She said she can't stay long, boo.
Oh, okay. That's
Well,
okay.
Tammy,
Thank you
at
for
least you
popping
got to
in.
visit quite extensively with Jasmine at the Ren Fair.
Oh, Kansas City / Orlando Tammy. Yes.
Jasmine.
Yep.
Lauren Wright says, hello, Jasmine. I am an
Hello.
artist from a small southern city,
Oh, okay.
and I find that people in my area don't respond as well to fantasy art.
Ah.
Did you ever have a problem with people not understanding your art in the beginning, and if so, how did you overcome it?
I very much did. I am an artist from Kansas, so that's it's different than it used to be 30 some years ago. But I think what was really a saving grace as far as that goes is the internet. When you have the internet is pretty much the whole world is your audience. So that is very much how I got my start making a living. I would do little things like try to put my artwork in galleries or try to get into local shows, and people are mostly into landscapes or pictures of barns or something. But when the internet came about, I started up a website in 1997, and it was kind of fairly early on for the internet. And then I realized very quickly it doesn't matter where you live at or what your local galleries are doing. If you are able to put things on the internet, everybody can see it, and then you're judged by the whole world instead of just by your neighbors.
Doesn't everybody want to be judged by the whole world?
Yeah, all the time, all day long. Yeah.
So Kaza says we need to talk to John Howe about painting Gollum, because that could be ugly. Jasmine would probably give him big, beautiful, dreamy eyes.
Probably
Of course,
so.
that would work well with Gollum. You could give him pretty eyes.
I think he has
Jasmine
pretty
could make
eyes.
Gollum pretty, I bet.
Well, John Howe was the one who did the watercolor illustrations of Gollum, isn't he?
I
think,
don't know.
yeah.
This is the room giving me the
Yeah.
info, not Matt giving
So
me the info.
I have one of his books with all the beautiful Lord of the Rings artwork he did. I'd love to get to paint some of that. I'm not actually sure as far as copyright goes, because those are older books, but there's something that I'm sure if it's based off the movie version, I'd have to get permission from, who was it? New Line, or who made those, Maddie? Warner Brothers? I don't remember.
I could
the
find
films.
the DVDs and
No.
tell you, but I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if it's something based off of the story, I'd probably have to get permission from the Tolkien estate, and if it's something based off the films, I'd probably need it. I think it's New Line Cinema does Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I'm not as good at remembering stuff like that.
Those movies are fantastic.
They're great movies.
I watched them a couple years ago, and they still really, really, really hold
They
up.
hold up well. Yeah. Of
Eva
course,
says, thank you for your working so hard to get Vampire done before the Ren Fair.
Yes, I'm so happy I did. Now, those of you who are in Kansas City and are going to the Ren Fair, Amber said she's going to have prints of her this weekend at the Ren Fair. So if you saw me working on her there at the easel, or saw her in progress on the easel, you can buy her there too. And of course, you might win one tonight. Otherwise, go to strangeling.com and we have prints up there, including the canvas prints. We actually did them a bit bigger than the original. They'd probably be too big to show here, but they're like 24-inch big canvas prints, and they turned out really cool. And each one of those have little details painted by me on them. And I think we only have 2 left on the website of those.
something like that.
Yeah.
I
One or
can't check
two.
right now.
I can't. No, we can't ever
It's
check.
hard for me to
stuff
check
very
right
good
now.
because we're broadcasting here at Twitch. But yeah, this one here, for those who weren't watching last episode, I'll show you. Sweet+Isabella is her name, and she's another one that is...
Jasmine.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Valster says they love what you're working on right now.
Yay!
And sugar skulls are their life.
Oh.
Interesting.
I like sugar skulls a lot. Or the whole Calavera face painting and all the de Muertos, everything. Matt and I, of course, have a lot of family that come from Mexico, so that's always part of something that we're interested in. I'm happy that other people like it as well. I'm
always happy because they often weekly I get some sort of interesting Mexican candy.
Yes, that's very true.
And they teach me Spanish.
Yeah, our family, very much so.
My little sister speaks very good
Mexican
Spanish.
heritage, yes. Yeah, we can always drop by Matt's sister's house and they'll make us good food.
Yes, and they have their little bilingual kids are great.
Yes. Hey, that's very helpful. I wish I'd grown up speaking Spanish and
We
English.
haven't been in the Minnesota Ren Fair. No, Angel.
No, the Ren Fair that we do is a Kansas City Renaissance Festival, and those are permanent buildings there. They're not like tents you can take from festival to festival. And you actually have to buy the house. It has to be deeded. You've got to pay homeowners insurance and utilities and everything. So it's like a 2-story house with a roof and a foundation and everything, and that's our building there. So it very much stays put. It doesn't travel around to different festivals.
Oh, Valster is Mexican heritage.
Oh, yay!
Cool.
Well, I'm happy you like my painting.
Yay!
And here's the little figurine that we have. I have a series of figurines that are based on the same characters here that I've done for the Hamilton collection. So I've got quite a few of the little statues, and you can get these worldwide. They're limited edition, so some are sold out, but you can get a lot of these little girls online. They're from the Hamilton collection.
I think I might have a link.
Yeah, if you have a link, you can order them online worldwide from Burning Desires, or you can order the whole collection from the Hamilton collection, I think. I think the one that Hamilton has online right now is the one with the teacups also, which is really cute. But here is one. I've got a whole bunch of these. Other one, but specifically this is Isabella, and this painting will be based on her. She's basically my model that I'm looking at when I paint her. And I eventually like to do more of the characters in painting, because a lot of people, probably some of you watching, like to get the sculpture and then get the little print to put next to her.
Sweet Inspirations is
Sweet Inspirations is the official name of the
to
series.
Tanya's.
Yes,
site.
And I think there might only be a couple of the characters left.
If there are, I
Sophia
apologize.
might be here. Here's Sophia.
All
She's
subject
actually
to
the first one
availability.
I did was Sophia. And they are super cute. But we have 2 new series that feature some of the same character designs, but
And teacups, right?
in teacups, and then we have some that I don't think have been released yet that are sitting on top of skulls that have turned out really cool too.
Yes, I believe that the ones that are in teacups now for our international friends are not available.
They're not available. Yeah, they're still in the pre-order
Will
stage. But
eventually get them.
I'm sure she will. Yeah, I was just going to show you a picture of all of them. Well, here's some of the actual paintings, if you want to see the
Hi,
portraits
Darky
of the girls. Yeah. These are all different paintings that I have done. And then we did the little figurines that are based off the paintings, or vice versa in this case. So these are all available at strangeling.com, and then that gives you a little background on the girl I'm painting here. And of course, she kind of matches some of the characters here. Synergy, you know. And she's turning out lovely. I think when I was starting on her last time, I only worked on her for maybe an hour or so, and I was still kind of outlining her. Since she has butterfly wings, she kind of has monarch wings. So if you look at her wings, they look like a monarch butterfly. I'm going to paint some monarch butterflies, kind of making it more of a actual painting instead of just like a picture of the statue. And she has a little tiger lily in her hair. Actually, it's pretty big compared to her, but I don't know. I'm trying to think how big she'd be if she was a real fairy. Maybe she'd be that big. If that's the case, I'd be a small tiger lily. But if she's my size, then that would be a huge tiger lily. I don't know. She's a fairy. She can probably change size.
She's wee.
Yeah. Well, speaking of tiger lilies too, I was gonna show you guys. We have all of the Language of Flowers paintings, including the last 2, tiger lily and black roses are all up at strangeling.com also as prints. So that is the complete set. I'm only doing 6 of them, and those are the 6. And I think the first 3 you can get as a set for like $30, and then you can buy the other ones individually, and they're on sale for $10 each. So you get the whole set, and I like how they turn out. And I like how they look all together too. So, I was mentioning, because she's got little tiger lilies. So if you look at the tiger lilies in this, they're basically like the tiger lily that she's got in her hair here. So I'm going to continue that theme on there, because I think tiger lilies and monarch butterflies look really pretty together, because they have the same sort of orange, gold, brown color. Yeah.
Josie just placed an order for the teacups last night.
Oh, excellent. Yay. I'm looking forward to that one. As people know, I drink a lot of tea.
Marissa can't help but to stare at her Strangeling book.
Oh, thank you.
And Cass says that monarchs are being considered for the endangered species.
I have heard that. Yeah, that's really sad, because when I was a little girl, 30 years ago or whatever, monarchs were all over the place. I would see them all the time. I grew up in Missouri and Kansas, and we would see monarch butterflies pretty much everywhere.
Basically, you'd open a wall, and monarchs would
Kinda. No, it's true. Well, my dad will have milkweed plants out on. He has a farm in Missouri, and he's got milkweed plants, and those are pretty much the only thing that monarchs like to lay their eggs on. So if you have land and you're in the middle part of America, when the monarchs travel down to Mexico and back again, it's good to leave milkweeds out there, even if you think it's a weed. That's what monarch butterflies like to lay their eggs on, and I think they also eat them. I'm not really sure how it works. Butterflies are very mysterious.
I love butterflies.
Yeah, me too.
Kim says, I love the tulips painting.
Yeah, the tulips one. Oh, and she's one of the stripy tulips. Was she the first one I painted here on Twitch? Or down in the corner? She was one of the first paintings I did on Twitch.
Jasmine.
With the tulips, yeah.
It says hedgehogs are almost extinct in the UK.
They are in the wild. Yeah, they are definitely threatened. I have very rarely seen hedgehogs in the wild. We had, when I was growing up, me and Matt, our first pet we had together was a hedgehog. He was an African hedgehog.
He was
born in captivity. He was a little pet hedgehog. But I have seen
he had the softest little furry belly.
The softest little tummy. But yeah, if you picked him up and moved him around, you want to wear gloves. But yeah, they're hard to find. There are a few places they live in London still. There's a really good documentary. Do you remember what that was called, Mandy? We saw it when we were actually there in the UK. Oh, when we were there for the Three Wishes Festival, we watched a documentary about hedgehogs, and it showed them.
So I guess we could backtrack and see when it aired.
Yeah.
But
if you search hedgehogs BBC, you'll probably find it, and it's probably on Netflix, and it talks about the plight of the hedgehogs, and it shows a lot of the people who work with hedgehogs helping injured ones, because a lot of the reasons that they're endangered is because of people driving cars on top of them and stuff like that, because they do live in bushes and hedges and in parks and in farms and right on the edges of people's yards and places like that.
Hey Jasmine,
yeah,
I'm gonna run upstairs and grab my my phone, because I was charging it to make sure that I'd have enough power for the horrible little ding dong noise it makes.
Oh, your alarm. Okay, yeah, right. You don't want to lose your alarm for the raffle. Yeah. Then we wouldn't know what time it was. Right. And I never know what time it is, so that would be important. But no, I very much love my little hedgehog friends. They come out at night mostly, which can hurt them also, because when people are driving at night, unless it's a superbly well-lit area, you're not going to see a little 5-inch hedgehog friend walking across the street right in front of your car, which is very sad for everybody involved. But I have seen them out. Where is it? Is it, I could have sworn I saw one in Regent's Park in London, and I think they live in Hampstead Heath also in London, but they are there's only a few areas in London they still live, but they live in some of the more rural areas of England, of course. And they've got some European hedgehogs. I've seen them in Germany. I've seen them hiding out in a bush once. And then, of course, African hedgehogs are different. And then there's the hedgehog tenrecs that live in Madagascar, where they live. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can wax on about
79 viewers
hedgehogs all day.
Pixie Soap says, will you be making the Cuties Paisley into a figure?
Oh, Paisley. Let me think. I don't think anybody has licensed Paisley as a figurine yet, but she would be a super cute one. She might be a good one even to maybe eventually do a Strangeling vinyl of. My next goal up at Patreon is to get a new Strangeling vinyl. Those are the ones that I actually have to kind of design and finance myself, so I'm doing as a Patreon goal. It works kind of like a Kickstarter, but I'm going to let the people vote to see which one I do next. So that would be a good one because she's kind of, it's her, you can see her whole body in it. She's sitting in front. She's got the little she's kind of my little hippie fairy. Kind of reminds me of my sister Kachina, and she's got pretty little paisley colors on her and kind of tie-dyed wings. That would be a super cute one, but so far I don't think any of the companies have made her into a three-dimensional character yet.
I think that'd work well.
Yeah, she would be a pretty one.
Her shirt matches her Pixie Soap's tattoo.
Oh, really? Oh, that's perfect then. That's a great
Layla
tattoo.
just ordered Black Rose's prints and Vampire Dragonling.
Yay! Well, I think she watched us paint both of those, didn't she? Or me paint them, rather. Oh, you talk about it.
Yeah, I did talk about it.
Yeah, you didn't paint it. At any rate, I need to look at her hair and figure out what parts of her hair are purple. She kind of has a thing going on like my Vampire Dragonling and like a lot of my other paintings where the first few strands of her hair are one color and the rest of her hair is a more natural color. It started off in the 1990s. I used to dye the first parts of my hair green, and then of course the rest of it's black, and so a lot of my characters would match mine depending on my hair color. But now I've kind of taken them in all different directions. But occasionally I'll have ones like this, and I'm like, I want to make sure her hair matches her hair in the character as a sculpture. So I forget if this is supposed to be, this is from a few years back. I forget if this is supposed to be the purple there is her hair, or if that's like a little ribbon or a hairband that just matches her hair. But I think it's pretty much exactly the same color, so I might make it kind of vague.
Jasmine,
we shall
do
see.
We have any plans for Halloween? Sean asked.
For Halloween,
I said we're going to have pre-fun, Halloween fun.
Yeah, we will.
Whitby Goth Weekend.
Yeah, Whitby Goth Weekend is right before Halloween, and it is in, of course, the town of Dracula in Whitby, and it's a Goth Weekend, and a lot of people dress up for that.
And I will go over those dates again.
Yes. And
it is the 26th, the 27th, and 28th at Whitby.
Yeah, Whitby, England.
Whitby Goth Weekend.
Up in Yorkshire, 26th, 27th, 28th. I'll be there all 3 days we're actually at the Leisure Center, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Of the two buildings, yeah. Because they've moved it to a new venue this year. It's still in Whitby. It's just a couple blocks over. They needed more room. So we'll be at the Leisure
Sean says,
Center.
ooh, Whitby, not far from me. An hour drive.
Gosh,
well,
yes.
come see
if
us,
you
Sean.
can come see us, because we'll be there the 26th, 27th, 28th, and it's free. You don't have to buy a ticket if you want to come see me. You do if you want to stay and see all the 30 different bands that come, and that's pretty awesome.
It's kind of crazy.
It's like a little mini Woodstock almost. It's
buy all your
cool
goth gear during the day and use it at night at the shows.
I was going to say, if you don't have clothes to dress up, you can sure buy them at Whitby.
Yeah, you could come
You can go to
dressed in plain clothes and leave a changed person.
You sure can. And you can go, I was going to say the thrift shops are in Whitby around the time, like the, not Goodwill, what do they have there? Oxfam?
Yeah, I do plan to make some canvas cuties for Whitby. Yes,
we will definitely bring some.
I'll get together with Jasmine and we'll choose some ones that are probably a bit
gothier.
A bit gothier. So we'll,
I should have her finished by then too, so if I haven't sold her yet, I might bring the original. Otherwise, we'll have prints of her there. And the same with my little vampire girl, too. My Vampire Dragonling.
Wow.
That'll
How
fit in
about
really
several
well.
people coming to Whitby?
Yay! If you haven't been to the town of Whitby before, it's fun to visit any time of the year. Because it's also just a beautiful Victorian seaside village. And that's always fun to go to. Not to mention when...
So Sean says, I would come down just to meet you. The bands are just meh. Yeah. If you're from my
Depends
generation.
what you're into.
The fish and chips are to die for, says Sean Hudson.
That is where I hear they were invented, more or less. Well, I don't want to start any arguments, but there are a few places in England that they may have been
And Layla mentions again that she's a gothrit.
Yes.
That's half goth, half pirate.
Exactly. And that's, I think Whitby's probably the perfect place for that, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Because first of all, it's a seaport that's been there for a long
You can
time.
just take your boat right up to the
The
dock.
harbor there is gorgeous. If you're somebody like me who collects fossils and things, it's on the Jurassic coast of England, so they've got all sorts of fossils. You can go on fossil walks, and they've got neat rock stores. And
what's the magpie place called again? That a lot of people
the
swear
magpie.
by. It's just the magpie. That's what I wrote.
I think it's called Magpie Cafe. Yeah, that's
Cafe.
the one that people line up for, man. And Matt and I are vegetarians, but some of the places there, I know the Marine Hotel has veggie fish and chips at it, and they have pretty much everywhere there you can find.
Felix Allen is missing their grandchild's first birthday party. Coming to Whitby.
Oh, okay. Well, when it's their first birthday, they don't know what's going on. They're just gonna make a mess out of the cake and pose for pictures. I'm not a mom, so I don't really know. I'm just an auntie.
Oh yeah, Crystal. Those remarked ones are fantastic.
Yeah,
I think I saw that Crystal purchased a remarked.
Oh, excellent! Yeah, those are. If you can't get the original painting,
if you can't
definitely
get the original,
the next best thing.
Get a masterpiece. You can't get a limited.
Yeah,
edition.
no, the remarks are fantastic, and they're often they're 12 by 16 usually, so that's like the size of the original painting I was showing you earlier.
We will not have the Alice coloring book at our stall.
I don't think so, unless it somehow comes out before then. I don't think
that'd be really quick.
It probably won't, because the publishers of the Alice coloring book, all my coloring book publishers are Blue Angel Publishing, and they are in Australia. So usually it comes out in Australia first, and then I'll get my shipment of it here in the United States, and then we'll have to somehow get them over to England. So it probably won't be there by then. I know that the magazine Coloring Heaven magazine, which is a UK magazine that has had a lot of my coloring pages in the magazine itself taken from my Blue Angel books, they are going to be doing a special, you know how they did the Strangeling special? They are going to be doing one that has some from the Alice book too. And that will, I don't know when, but at some point that will be coming out. And that might come out before the actual coloring book is. I don't know. But if it does, that's like at every grocery store, every convenience store, every Asda and Tesco and everything in England. Sainsbury's has them. Any place like Foyles or Waterstones will have them. And here in the United States, they have them at Barnes & Noble. We actually saw the one from last month, the Strangeling special. Matt and I saw it in Orlando, even though it's a British magazine. They had it at Barnes & Noble here in Florida.
Yes, that was cool.
But the company that makes those, Coloring Heaven magazine, is actually going to have me there at a coloring book convention next year. When is that, love? Is that in,
I know it's springish. Isn't it
I
the
thought
week?
it was October-ish, because it was like
Wait.
It's by when we're going to Glastonbury, isn't it?
I thought it was. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's not after Tintagel.
No. It's next.
You're right. I apologize.
Next, like a year from now,
Yeah.
in Bath. It's going to be in Bath. And they're going to have a special coloring book convention that Coloring Heaven magazine is putting on. And it would definitely be there by then. And they're going to have me come do a talk and do signing for coloring books and whatnot. I think it's actually while Whitby happens next year. So I'm going to be at the coloring thing up in Bath, while Paul, who does Strangeling UK, is going to be down in Whitby up in Whitby doing the Whitby Goth Weekend next year. So, and then we're both going to be at Glastonbury the weekend preceding that, or I don't know that. I don't know. I forget. It's either right before or right after it. But there'll be plenty of it coming, and if you're looking for them online, if you go to blueangelonline.com,
I probably have a link. Let me do that.
Yeah, if you just go to blueangelonline.com, this is how I know when stuff's coming out. I go there and I scroll down to where it says new releases coloring book.
I don't have it.
It's blueangelonline.com.
Okay, I will find that.
You can type that. Right?
I'm gonna make sure that my link works.
Okay. What I do is I scroll down to the bottom and it says coloring book new releases, and I check there a couple times a week to see what's popped up, and sometimes I'm up there, and that's how I know.
Oh, you're Forever Strange. As soon as I pop up, there's a little...
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
There's a little thing
Blue
with
Angel
you on
also
there.
publishes a lot of my Oracle cards and my art books, like Strangeling and Forever Strange.
Cool.
So right now, they just
Alice
have
the
released...
Wonderland Oracle. Man, you're just all over this website.
Yeah, they're good publishers, man. I
Cool.
love them. I'm glad they came to me many years ago, and they kind of went out on a limb to I was not all that well known then, and they really took me under their wing, and they've done a really magnificent job. The owner of it, Tony Carmine, is a artist himself, so I think that's part of why he likes doing art books and oracle decks and fun things like coloring books. I also make my creativity journals and all sorts of stuff, but they're in Australia, so it comes out there first, and then it comes out to the rest of the world. You can also get a lot of them on Amazon. Amazon will have pre-orders. You know how Amazon is. Everybody probably knows Amazon. The website Book Depository is kind of cool. It's sort of like Amazon, but they ship for free worldwide. So that's a good place to get the coloring books too. So even if it's from Australia and you're in Germany, they'll ship it for free worldwide. Yeah.
Have you ever thought of painting Beetlejuice and Lydia?
I would love to paint Beetlejuice and Lydia. I have done a few projects with the Tim Burton characters. When I do those, I always have to have a contract with the Tim Burton people. Tim Burton himself has to approve it. I have to get Disney to approve it if it's Disney. Beetlejuice isn't Disney though. That's just Tim Burton, and I think that one's Warner Brothers also. So I need to get approvals to do it. I do have a concept figurine design series for Edward Scissorhands that I'm doing with the Bradford Group, and that might be something, depending on how the contracts go, that might be out later. But so far, no Beetlejuice, but cross your fingers, because if it's something that the Bradford Group is doing with Tim Burton, then I might get the chance to. So
Jasmine.
here's hoping. Yeah.
Sean wants to know what sort of products and from us to Paul
Yeah.
will we have at Whitby?
Oh my goodness, between us and Paul. Okay, so for those who don't know, Paul, he might even be here in the room, I don't know, is Strangeling UK. Paul knows. He's also RageInEden.com. Some people know him from that. He has a lot of the merchandise that is only made in the UK that has my artwork on it. So products from companies like Nemesis Now, or things that he's contracted himself to be made in the UK. So they'll have figurines, they will have, they'll have like cushions and pillows and ottomans and like aluminum prints and 3D things and keychains and lots of really nice coffee mugs and prints, of course. From us, we'll have little tiny canvases and we'll have the smaller things, and we put our booths right next to each other, and they're both technically for me, so buy as many as you want from either of us. It doesn't matter. We'll have pins. We will have possibly some original paintings, depending how much time I have. We will have canvas cuties. We will have the mini print, postcard prints. And we'll be giving away pins. We have a special pin that is only available at Whitby, the White Rose Fairy. You know, I don't have her finished yet here, but I do have the artwork for her. I think I put it up in the pins group on Facebook. But we'll be giving those away for free to anybody who buys something. And that's an exclusive for Whitby. So that's something you can only get there. And we'll have other pins there. I think we'll have, we'll probably have some of the glow-in-the-dark jack-o'-lantern fairy pins and some of the other pins that we have a new Strangeling UK one. A little baddie will be there. We'll have coloring books. We'll have you think Paul probably has my Forever Strange book yet?
Probably.
Probably. We'll probably have some of the Oracle cards and tarot cards.
I love looking at Paul's stuff because Paul has stuff you can't.
You get stuff that I don't have.
You don't get in the U.S.
Yeah, they'll have like silk scarves and little gift boxes and
neat boxes.
Yeah, perfume bottles. I mean, a lot of the things that you've seen, you will see there, and it's always unique for me to see because we are in the UK part of the year, but our shipping center and everything here in the United States is here in the United States, so we don't get a lot of the same merchandise. And then I bring things over there that you guys don't get to see as much, so between the two, we get a pretty nice, I don't know, what do you think it is? Maybe a 25-foot booth of...
Oh, if you stretched it all out,
yeah, between
I
the
don't
two
know.
of us.
I feel we get a
maybe
decent amount of
longer.
space.
Yeah, we
And
get
it's
a
nice.
we get a big space there.
Yeah, Whitby's great. It doesn't feel.
It's easy
well,
to
where we were
walk.
before, of course, I can't. I can't. I bet the leisure center's great.
The leisure center should be good. It's should be a better space, and we can leave our stuff out without having to put it away at night and bring it out again every morning. That gets kind of crazy.
Will we have any extremely lonely prints at Whitby? Oh, probably.
If there are any prints,
Paul has a bunch of prints too. He has a bunch of 8x10.
I was going to say, if there are any, and you can write down this, Maddie. If there are any paper prints you would like ahead of time, you can email.
Yeah, I think Layla, I have an order.
Yeah,
from
you
Layla,
can email either us or Paul for paper prints if it's
up to a certain
print.
degree, because eventually I can't.
That's why I was saying if you were for paper prints, if you were to email Paul.
Yes.
Which is gothlings@strangelinguk.com. He can get pretty much any of the paper prints there. And if you're wanting a canvas print, you can email us at jasmine@strangeling.com. So Paul is gothlings@strangelinguk.com, and that's for paper prints or for a lot of different merchandise type things, books, stuff like that. If you want to make sure he has it there, email him. If he doesn't have it, maybe I'll have it and he can pass that along to me. Or if it's something special like a canvas cutie or something that I do myself by hand, email us at jasmine@strangeling.com.
Actually, yeah, I definitely Layla, because Paul has told me he was making the new Ninja prints.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we'll make sure. I'm sure I'll be finished with this one by then. So this one will be here. Vampire Dragonling will be there, and I might have some other new ones that are there too that you might not have seen yet. So that should be exciting. As far as Disney stuff, it's kind of hard because I don't really get a discount or anything. So I'd have to go to Disneyland or Disney World, bring it, put it in my purse or my suitcase, and then sell it for the same price I bought it for. So
yeah,
it's
we don't
like,
make any money.
And I also have to bring my shampoo and my clothes and everything else. It's hard to.
So when someone says they want something from Disney, that means I have to go physically to Disney.
We have to go get our tickets, go to Disney World and buy it. Yeah. So we have been known to go to Disneyland and get a bunch of postcards or something and shove them in my purse. I would pay for them, of course, and then I would bring them to England and hope they didn't question me too much at customs and sell them there. So we do our best, but we can't bring a whole bunch of Disney stuff because then I wouldn't have any clothes to wear. Of course, I could buy stuff at Whitby. Yeah. And that sounds kind of fun.
Ian says, "Will you have anything I won't want there?"
Maybe. Maybe the things you already have. Ooh.
Sure.
Unless you want backups. Are we close to the
2 minutes?
Oh, 2 minutes. Yeah. Yay.
2 minutes to raffle, guys.
Okay.
And that will be, Jasmine wants to show it again.
Oh, yes. This will be, it's the print of my Vampire Dragonling. The one that I have been painting. And I will autograph her on the front, too, if you'd like. I'd be happy to. This is actually my personal test print that I printed out to make sure that the colors match the painting. What I do is it's probably overexposed because I've got a million lights pointing at me now, but what I do is we make the print on our printer and I set it next to the painting and we put it under about 15 different lights to make sure that the colors look the same on the print as they do on the original painting. We put them side to side, we look at them far away, we look at them close up, etc. And this is my sample one that I have, and I will sign it for you, and we will mail it to you anywhere in the world. So this will be our first giveaway.
Did the Sister Biscuit Amber asked about the Pirates of the Caribbean figurine set? Did that ever get released?
I think, last I heard, it's kind of, this is a long story that goes back like 4 years, maybe 6 years. Oh my gosh. Okay. We did a series of them, and Disney was like, no, this is through the Bradford Group. So they were co-branding Pirates of the Caribbean, Jasmine Becket-Griffith, Bradford Group, Bradford Exchange, and Hamilton Collection, which is like 5 companies all mixed together. So a lot of contracts. Anyways, so they had them, and we had the fairies dressed as the Pirates of the Caribbean characters, and then Disney said, no, we don't want them to have wings. So we did a version that didn't have wings, and then they tried it out and they're like, no, what it's Jasmine wants, we like them to have wings. So we did a different one with wings, and that's the last I've heard of it. So as soon as I find out, I will let you know, because I will be all about that and I will show them off here. And you can always ask Hamilton, because they might have known and not even told me yet. Disney might not know, because it's Hamilton is the people who are brokering the deal and doing the contracts and everything. So the Bradford Group HamiltonCollection.com would be the people to ask about that, but I will
Got a
let you
winner.
know when I find out. Who's our winner?
No Angel 1331.
No Angel 1131.
People are saying we shouldn't bring clothes now.
No, we shouldn't
Thanks,
bring clothes. Oh yeah, that's like I'm a mermaid. I mean, I don't need clothes, but I was just talking about the wonderful thrift shops they have in Whitby because they always have cool goth stuff that people have left from
And
the last
hopefully
Whitby
no
goth
angels
weekend.
in the room.
Yes. See, I think I was gonna make her hair go down here. I don't know if you can see this. She's got long hair like me. I just have masking tape on the back of these pieces of wood I paint on, so I can pick them up and squish them down on my table whenever I want. And I want to give her long hair, kind of like the figurine. If you look at the statue, she has really long hair. It almost looks like it kind of folds back into her to kind of make it one single piece. But since this is a painting of her, her hair probably doesn't look perfect all the time, much like mine usually doesn't. So her hair is kind of go off to the side. I eventually want to decide to put some sort of grass, or maybe put her in a cemetery, or put her out in a field or in a forest or something. So I'm kind of being loose with her hair over here in case I want to paint some rocks or waterfall, flowers, something. It's a Dia de Muertos piece, so she might be in the cemetery, or she might be out in
Does
some
Jasmine
sort of
have a
lovely
Dr.
outdoor.
Martin boot pin? I don't think so.
What was it?
Layla says, do you have a Dr. Martin boot pin?
Pin, like a pin. Are you saying Matt says pin and pen very similarly? Pin. Oh, okay, I see. I not with my artwork on it. I know that Doc Martens, the boots make they make those. They have enamel pins of them, and I do not have one, but I don't have any with my artwork on them. I do like their boots. I've got a lovely pair of their boots. I might even wear them at Whitby. We'll see. But yeah, I don't have any specifically. A lot of my characters are wearing kind of combat boots because that's a good type of boot to wear sometimes if you like going outside in the rain and in swampy places the way I do.
Layla means a badge.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I was just trying. As far as like a Strangeling one with my characters on it, no, I do not. I do remember having, and I might still have it. It was like a badge that had their logo on it. I think when I was in high school, that was on my jacket, but just because I like their boots.
So Sean wants to know if you would do Doctor Who since she's going to be a girl. Maybe.
I would love to. Again, that's another weird licensing one. I'd have to make sure I got permission from BBC. And yeah, she's the I can't think of her name. She's the actress. She's in Broadchurch. I like that actress a lot. So I'd love to paint her. I could totally Strangeling her up. So if you're out there, I'd like to paint you.
I'd like to paint you if you're out there.
Yeah.
Great.
Just gotta get permission. I know most people don't worry about permission, but I do. That's kind of a funny one because it's BBC, and BBC is publicly owned, and I mean I pay my television license for my UK home and all that, but I don't know if that entitles me to profit off their characters or not. Maybe it does. I mostly know about American licensing stuff because I'm here most of the time, but I do pay my BBC TV license, so I don't know. And Sky Network for some reason. I'm going in with the purple that I have.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I'm just kind of mixing it with water at this point because I want to decide what areas I want to make purple before I put a whole lot of pigment on there. That way if I change my mind I can cover it up real quick. The character, she's got it on one side of her head, and it kind of goes underneath where her little tiger lily is, and it goes on the other side of her head here too. And again, whether that's a band of hair at the top there, or that's a little rubber band thing at the top of her head, that matches the same sort of purple. So I'll make that purple up there also. That's pretty much the only place that purple occurs in the figurine.
She has a lot of hair, doesn't she?
She does have a lot of hair. You know how it is. But she has a little bit of purple in her dress also. I might, accentuate the purple in the painting more to help justify why she's got so much purple hair. Because when it's a figurine, you can kind of set her wherever, and she just matches like your shelf she's sitting on. But when it's a painting, you want to justify why she's in that background, and why those colors are there, and why other colors are in other areas. She's got a lot of nice contrasting tones. She's got the purple dye in her hair. She's got the orange yellow of the monarch wing. She's got the kind of orange yellow of the tiger lily in her hair to draw away from it being purple overload. And then she and the other 4 figurines in the series, of that series specifically, all have the little black and white tights that a lot of my characters tend to have.
I like those.
Yeah, I have a lot of socks like that myself.
Yeah, when we're at the Run Fair, you bought some stripes that went
I got some vertical striped ones at the Run Fair at Ticker Talks, yeah. So we'll see. Now, when I was, let me think. If my mom's watching, she would probably know, but I think I was 4, and I was Raggedy Ann for Halloween.
I was Raggedy Andy once.
Was it the same year I was Raggedy Ann? No, probably not. That would be creepy. Little. You're older than me. I'm trying to think. I might have been 4 or 5, and that's the first time I ever got little stripy socks. When I was Raggedy Ann. Yeah, this year we'll be in the UK on Halloween, but we'll be traveling. I've got to do some business stuff in London, and I'm taking my father and my stepmother with me that day, so I probably won't be out doing anything especially Halloween themed that day. I'll just have kind of a regular day of it.
That's why I think Whitby will kind of.
But Whitby, we're kind of treating that as our Halloween for the year, because it's just a few days before that, and it'll be a goth weekend, so that should work out good. I've got a couple family members that are born on Halloween. My cousin Sally and my nephew Theo.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's their birthday. It's Halloween.
Does anybody in the room share a birthday, like,
probably
with a family member? I always think that's funny how often that happens.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what happens like 9 months before that. I don't know.
But I don't share a birthday with many people. I don't know anyone that has my birthday.
You're really close to Cielo and to
close, but
Ariel's. Someone else is right by you.
I don't know. Nick isn't far.
Nick is right. He's close.
Your dad's not far, really.
Yeah, and remember, my dad, Nick, and Felix are right in a row, right? Because Felix was almost born on my dad's birthday, and they thought it was funny because they were naming him after him. So the middle name part, at least.
Your Biscuit's sister was born. Biscuit's sister.
Oh,
was born 13 years and 1 day after her.
Oh, wow. See, that's really close.
Okay, so John says my mom and her sister are the same day.
Oh, wow.
22nd of December.
So 1 in 365 counts, yeah.
Her birthday with my mom. I was her 21st birthday present, says Grinchy.
Aww.
Oh, Laura says that.
You know, I've known a few people who are born on Mother's Day. Obviously, it's a different different day every year, but I've known a few Mother's Day babies, which always seems kind of sweet. We have me and my sisters, my Kachin, Amber, and I are all born within about 1 month of each other. All 3 of us.
Within 3 years.
Within 2 years, thank you. Yeah. Yes, yeah.
That's funny.
We're Irish
I feel bad for your mom.
Yeah. That's about as close as you can have babies in a row and have 3 babies in 2 years.
Your mom was... Yeah. Your mom was just
young.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. That's a lot of...
She must have been. She's not that old now, so... She's young still, in case she's watching.
Kitten's niece is 1126 and Bob is 1129. Very close to me.
Ah. Does that mean they're Sagittarius?
No, Angel shares a birthday with her brother's ex-wife.
Oh.
Mom and my son's other grandmother have the same exact birthday. My boyfriend and my son's dad have the exact same birth date.
See, it does happen. It happens more almost than I think it should if you're going to look at the odds of it.
I have nieces that have the same birthday.
Yes, and they have the same birthday as Kachina too, right? Or wait, was it Danielle and...
The 9/25.
Oh, that's the other one. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was talking about the May 19th one.
Oh, May 19th. Who else is May 19th?
Kachina?
I think that's
Kachina,
my other niece.
Yeah, the Dean niece. I don't want to tell people's birthdays.
Yeah, we won't.
In case all you guys are like stealing identities out there.
Oh, so Layla is the 24th November.
For heaven's sake, yeah. That's very close. She's a Sagittarian also.
Yeah, Sean, 29th of February is a funny one. The leap year thing.
That is a good one. I knew some twins that were born on the 29th. Mary Jo and Susie. Nobody's gonna know them unless actually Susie might be watching. Hi, Susie.
So how did they? What did they do for
when they were like 12, they said it was their 3rd birthday party. It was.
That's funny.
They did it because it was kind of
so
funny.
Every presidential election / Summer Olympics, they have a birthday.
Exactly. Every 4 years they get a birthday.
That's weird.
Like they're not gonna be able to like rent a car or get a beer for a long time.
Well, twins don't count, silly.
Oh, twins don't count. Okay.
Sometimes twins can be born on different
That's
days,
what I was
guess.
saying. They were born on the 29th of February. That's why it's interesting.
No, I mean different.
I understand.
Yeah, like.
But the funny thing with our family is I've got a couple of stepsisters who, in addition to the 3 of us, my bio sisters being born within 2 years, we have a couple of stepsisters who are within 1 year of my age. So we had 5 girls total in the stepsister range who are born within 2 years, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. I wouldn't want to.
Oh, hi, Kieran. Welcome back.
Oh, hi,
Kieran's
Kieran.
doing some homework.
Ah.
If you don't mind, I'm going to use the restroom.
Oh, that's fine.
I will be back. I might make myself a coffee.
You getting sleepy?
Yeah, and I'm
You getting the 5 o'clock sleepies?
not so much. Yeah, I'm sleepy, but I'm kind of
Yeah, when we get up at 5, you know, it's
that's
pretty
true.
far into the day. We're early birds. I'm just taking purple in water. I'm just using straight dioxazine purple, but I'm putting a little bit of quinacridone magenta, which is one I usually use. If I have a purple, I use the dioxazine purple, which almost looks black, but it's really purple. And if I want to warm it up and make it look more of a warm pink tone, I mix the quinacridone magenta in it.
You want to have a quick contest?
But,
Which coffee cup will Matt
okay,
use?
let's vote on which coffee cup Matt uses. This sounds exciting.
Okay, so they're all Jasmine Disney ones.
Here's my vote. No, I'm just kidding.
That way you want to need to contact those people.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Okay.
So we have, these are all available from Disney, by the way. This is not a commercial, but I'm just pointing them out. There's Jasmine and Raja. There is, there we go. Princess Aurora. This is a neat one because it's the whole picture is really wide because it was a horizontal one.
So you guys can vote on
So
which
you
one
see the whole
turned
one?
out.
Yes. And then
It's a very silly thing to vote on.
You don't have Jack and Sally? Oh my god.
I do. I could get it, but
You don't have to, love. You're just by the kitchen. So and there's Ursula. But Disney does very nice mugs with my pictures on.
I'll set those there.
So Ursula,
I'll be sure to
Princess Aurora / Sleeping Beauty, or Princess Jasmine and Raja.
All right, let's see what
They're all good mugs.
Ursula, Jasmine.
I'm trying to think which one's the biggest one.
So far, Ursula's winning a lot.
Ursula's pretty cool. Ursula's the newest one.
I don't think anything else can win now.
Ursula's the newest one, so she might win just by virtue of being...
Kieran's birthday is the 29th of July.
Oh, really?
We have a ton of July birthdays.
I was gonna say,
family.
my sister Amber's family,
Like
they're all born
day.
like the same month.
Every
Day is a new birthday. I've got to put it in my calendar.
It's gonna be Ursula.
Ursula!
Yeah. I appreciate you.
Because she is known for giving drinks to people that don't take away their voice or anything. Okay.
Did you give her a drink that way, or did you cast a spell?
She just cast a spell. She didn't actually poison
my voice
her.
disappears,
But she puts it in a little bottle, kinda. Yeah.
I think Ursula has my voice when I'm hoarse.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I'll show this picture a little bit closer here in case it's hard for me. Again, I don't have a computer in front of me, and if I did, I couldn't probably see it. But here's how she's looking so far. I've a lot of this is just sketched in, and the gray kind of color is just kind of brown and blue mixed with the gesso that I use to cover the pieces of wood I paint on top of. So this is not going to stay that color there. I put a little bit of color onto her skin tone to make it different from where her face paint's going to be. because I want her to kind of obviously have the Calavera sort of face paint, as you would do for Dia de Muertos. And I'm going to give her dark eyes, of course. They're not going to just be gray, although it does kind of look cool. It looks kind of zombie-ish. The figurine kind of has dark purple eyes. So I'm trying to decide, I want to make sure that people can tell she's actually Mexican, probably have brown eyes, like most people in my family, at least from Mexico, have brown eyes. But and I might put some purple in the middle of her eyes. So like my sister Kachina, who has green eyes and then is orange in the very center. I like eyes that are kind of ombre, two-toned like that. So I think I'll go with a dark brown around the edge, fading to purple towards the center. And that will kind of make it look like she's a little bit more magic-y too, because unless you got contact lenses on, you usually don't have purple in the middle of your eyes. So far, so good. I'm also going to start thinking about what I'm going to do for the background of this painting. Like I said before, since it is a celebration for Day of the Dead or All Souls Day, I'll probably put her in something like a cemetery. I don't want it to be a goth painting with vampires and things like that, because that's not what Dia de Muertos is really about. It's supposed to be honoring your ancestors. So I might have a cemetery in the background. If I do, it'll be more of a cheerful, happy sort of cemetery because you're thinking about your grandma or something like that. But I might go with kind of a misty sort of background that doesn't detract too much away from the main figure. Like on the painting here I did, yeah, there's a lot of trees and stuff, but when you're looking at it, you see the character first, and you see the trees and the sunset and the little bits of grass and stuff later. Because I really want her to be the focus of it. And on painting like this is an 8x10. When I do 8x10 paintings, I tend to make the focus of the painting on the character. If it's a very large painting, sometimes I'll do things like have a whole bunch of giant whales or stingrays or something and a tiny little mermaid in the corner, because the whole point of the painting is to show off something in the background that's very impressive. And it's like, oh, look how big these are compared to her. But an 8x10 is more of like a school portrait, little wallet photo sort of size. So I want it to be more of a portrait piece. So she takes up pretty much exactly the 8x10 side, but I want to have a background away from the foreground of the painting, so you can see there's a main character there and some sort of background. She exists in real space, in real time, and it's not just like a painting of the figurine. That would just be boring. It'd be like just a straight out still life then. So I want to give a little bit of life to it. So I'll have butterflies. I'm going to not use any black in my painting until I paint the butterflies. That way, the butterflies will look like they are closer to you than the main character. It might look like her hair is black hair, but that's really just a combination of raw umber and Payne's gray and a bit of Dioxazine purple. And then when I paint the butterflies, I'm going to paint them with the darkest darks and the lightest lights and the brightest yellows, and that will make it look like they are kind of floating above a bit, like it's kind of three-dimensional looking. Now that you're back, Maddie, I might run off to the bathroom and get some of this purple off my fingers too.
Okie dokie.
So I will be right back. We already did a giveaway, so we probably have a while.
Yes, we have a giveaway in another 42 minutes.
And what's the next one? Is that the
next one? Let me look at my little note here. Is it
the notebook?
Jack and Sally notebook? Yeah, and you'll sign that.
I'll sign everything.
I'm doing Day of the Dead theme for my work decor this year. I love this painting. Oh, okay, cool. Halloween. Yeah, it's hopefully you'll be able to get one of that. But Jasmine has a lot of the Day of the Dead ones if you don't already have those. See, I think she may have put a... Who won, if you don't mind saying? Who won the print at 20 minutes ago? I will type their name in. We are good, Layla, but busy as usual. So today was a big catch-up day for me. Still not quite caught up, so there you go. We're often on the run. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tammy. And welcome back. The new printer is arriving soon. I will take photos. Another idea, Addams Family would be a good... I think we mean Strangeling, right? Gotta love Wednesday and Morticia. Yeah, Jasmine actually, if there's there were statues, it's not the Addams Family, but she did do the Munsters. Those are pretty cool. I'm gonna pop up a link there. And those are actually a statue set from Hamilton Collection. What's new with me? Basically went through my last couple weeks. I've been at the Ren Fair, been working hard. Not a lot of free time. Oh, cool! You got a Cricut. I would love it. Yeah, I've seen people do cool things with those. But yeah, there's a lot of Pin Group people in here. I recognize a lot of the names. Who has free time? I see a lot of people having free time and wonder what's going on with that. Some of us are stalking our tracking numbers. Do you do the Ren Fair every year? Well, the Kansas City Renaissance Festival, we actually own that house, that structure. So it's we do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's our 6th year there.
Something like that.
My sister Amber and her husband Chris work for me as my assistants there. They do our Kansas City shipping area. So they actually run the booth every weekend that we're not there in person. Because it goes for like almost 2 months. So I go out there for a couple weekends, and then Amber and Fox and Willow and Chris and sometimes my mom will run the booth when we're not there.
And Tammy says they're so great.
Yes, they are. They're wonderful, wonderful people. I never worry about leaving it in their hands. They do a very, very good job.
I will say at the Ren Fair is how it's different for me personally than other events. It's one I actually run around and goof off in.
Yes.
Because we do, that's when I did have a little bit of free time. Oh, that Nintendo guy says konnichiwa.
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 Yeah, when we were, I say when we were a little bit, like when I was like 11 or 12, I used to go to the Renaissance Fair, and that was my fun every year. I would go there for fun. My stepmother and my stepsister Sonia worked there as not magicians, musicians.
It's a similar word, isn't it?
It's kind of the same thing.
Hey.
You stand out in front of them, you pass around a hat for tips at the end. But yes, they were musicians there, and I would like to go to the Ren Fair and just hang out when I was in like middle school, and that was kind of my fun thing of the year. And now I'm very happy as a grown-up to have a house there, because that's something I always wanted to have, and it's worked out really well. It's neat because I used to go visit, a lot of you might know Tina Nene Thomas. You might know her artwork probably from the Bradford Exchange or from all sorts of other different artwork she does. And she had the house there at the Ren Fair, and I would see her artwork there, and I was like, oh, someday I'd like to do that. And then when it was time for her to sell her house, I bought it from her, and I'm in the same house that I went and visited when I was little. And it's a nice full circle sort of thing.
So some people are having food.
Oh. Are you saying this because you're hungry?
No,
or
just the room. I'm not hungry right now.
Okay.
No.
I made lunch, and it was pretty substantial.
We have not done Designer Con, but I hear it's really good.
You know, I
I've only
think
heard good things.
one of the companies that I do stuff for, I think, was at Designer Con, so my artwork might have been there, but I myself have not been there. Is that out in Pasadena or somewhere in Los Angeles area? Los Angeles? I need to not say
There are
Los
designer
Angeles.
cons in lots of places. I'm not sure if there's one main one. I don't know a lot
Seems
of.
like most
Maybe I'm thinking of Maker Con.
Yeah, that one's a little different. Yeah,
Okay.
Designer Con I think is the one that's in California, and yeah, I've got a lot of friends who do that one.
That Nintendo guy says he's currently a wolf elf.
A wolf elf. Oh yes, I think we talked about wolf elf. There was a painting that came up on eBay. Somebody posted about it in the pins group. In Amber, my sister's like, Jasmine, is this one of yours? And it totally was, but it's one I did like when I was a kid, and it's up on eBay right now. And it is of a fox girl. If you want some giggles, you can go look at it. It's actually probably a good investment too. It's like, wow, that's a early painting.
You know what it reminds
me
of?
Yeah.
It reminds me of when you look at the like something from a great master, and it's one of their first pieces, and it's like
a sketch or like an Albrecht Dürer from when he was
it's like
12, or like in the Salvador Dali Museum, they've got a painting of his from when he was like 15 or something. Yeah. It's always funny when I see things like that come up on eBay. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, I do remember painting that, but it seems like it was 30 years ago or something. But yeah, it's definitely one of mine. I remember painting it. So
Tammy was jealous of my naps.
Oh yeah.
That I took during the day.
Yeah.
Our house is cozy. Our Ren Fair house
is
cozy and filled with mats.
Fair has an upstairs with a kitchen and everything. And no, we can't let you up there. People say, I know there's an apartment. Can we come up there? I'm like, no, we're not allowed to let you.
Honestly, what it's like is kind of like a break room.
It's like a break room at a work office sort of place.
Right.
It used to be when the kids were little, my niece and nephew, they needed naps or somewhere to get changed, or Kachina, my other sister, needed to change one of the babies or something, you know, she'd come up there.
No backstage pass.
Yeah, exactly. It is not the regular Ren Fair is probably way more exciting than our break room there, our little apartment. Also, it doesn't technically have plumbing, so take that as you will.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a proper house. We've got electricity, and it's got a relatively new roof, and taxes are paid for the next year.
The wolf elf.
The wolf elf, yeah.
It's kind of a foxy elf.
It is. I think I called it Fox Girl. I don't even know if I named it. It might have been before I even named my paintings, because it's not one I have prints of, which I think is why Amber was saying, is this one of yours, Jasmine? Because people have tried to fake things like that before, which is really tacky. Don't do it. But I was like, no, that is one of mine. It's from when I was in school. I remember painting it. I always keep an eye out too, because when I was younger, back when Matt and I still lived all the time in Kansas City, our house was burglarized, and a lot of my early pieces of artwork were stolen. So I always keep an eye out to see if anything from a long, long time ago shows up.
Because
I'm gonna call the Kansas City Police Department and tell them about it, because they really couldn't give two cares about it when I was there. So
that's putting it nicely, Jasmine.
Yes, it's hard to talk that nicely about it, but no, that was really upsetting to me. Probably half the reason I moved. Yeah. I won't even get into what else they did, but those were some bad, weird people.
That's happened to the best of people, though.
I think it has. I think it's probably happened to everybody at some point or another.
That's why people can commiserate about such things.
Exactly. So I'm actually taking some of the purple and some of the dark brown that I'm putting in her hair, and I'm using it to outline a shadow underneath her eyelashes. And she's got some pretty significant eyelashes, so I'm going to make a bit of a shadow, because if you have something that sticks out like 2 inches from your face, it's going to make a shadow on your eye. So I'm going to make a shadow on her iris. So that part of her iris will be dark. I'm going to make a limbic ring. Limbic ring is, some people, my eyes are like that a lot, where you have a dark circle around the outside of your eyes and it turns to a slightly lighter color or a slightly different color in the middle around your pupil. It's called a limbic ring.
I don't have much of one, I think.
There is actually a field of study called iridology, which involves looking at your irises and where little dots are in your eye to tell your future. It's like reading your palm, but for your eye.
Also, your health.
And your health, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like looking at your lifeline.
Yeah, it's similar to...
I don't know. how effective it is, I
Yeah,
can guess,
I don't know,
but yeah.
I think sciences like
It's
that are
kinda
kind of
neat.
fun, at least.
Well, to be fair, there are some illnesses that will show up as eye issues to
Certainly
begin
jaundice.
with. So yeah, well, sure, yeah. So it might have had its beginnings in something. Okay, I've also taken that same purple brown color and given her some little lines under her eyes. I want her to. I want it to be a relatively cheerful, happy painting, but it is still a slightly death scene painting, but it's more of a remembering the dead, so I want her to look a bit thoughtful. And when I think I make people look thoughtful, I make them have a little bit of worry on their forehead or a little bit of lines under their eyes, like maybe they've been up all night thinking about their dead grandma or something. And
Lovely.
yeah, well, I just want her to look like she's lived in the world. She's not just a Barbie doll or something. Yeah.
She's very nice.
Thank you.
And I think she looks very thoughtful.
Okay, thank you.
No, she does.
All right. I think so. Okay, I'm also using that to make a bit of a shadow under her cheek where part of the hair is going to go behind her. So I'm using a lot of the same colors to make the shadows and lights on here before I start adding a lot of pure pigment to other parts of the painting. And that will help tie it together and make her look more realistic and less like a cartoon when she's done. Even though my paintings have the proportions you'd see in like anime or a cartoon, I like to give them a little bit of realism as if it was a actual portrait of somebody with those proportions of their face. Okay.
I like this. I like her pose.
Yeah. I like that pose a lot. I've done a few pieces with a similar pose. First of all, it's because of how I sit sometimes when I'm by myself, and also it's a good way to fit somebody into a rectangle if they have wings, because you can see their legs, and that will kind of balance out the wings. And mine have a big old head, and that kind of takes up a lot of room there, so it works perfect for an 8x10, and it's very pleasing to the eye. It's got the golden sort of rectangle principle going on there with it. 3 to 4-ish point whatever ratio.
I like her hair a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Those flowers are amazing.
What's that?
The flowers are amazing.
Yeah. Again, those are tiger lilies, which is much like the tiger lily painting that we just had this week that we finally released the prints for. So I think just about all, and again, that's the language of flowers ones I was talking about. I'll show that again.
Anybody has any
little
questions
tiger
in the room,
lilies. There
art
she
related
is.
or what?
She's the one in the middle.
Let us know.
She also is very much like, and I think this is actually what we based the figurine off of to begin with, from my Milagros series. Milagros are the little silver charms that you get when you go to shrines or places that you're going to leave little memorials for somebody. Let's say you are going to pray for somebody who has a heart attack, you give them a little heart-shaped one, and that theoretically might help
Jasmine,
out.
I think you actually have some Milagros behind you.
Probably. I've got tons of them. Oh,
If you want to show,
Actually, I think that. Oh my god, is that the one that's in here?
it
think it
could
is.
be.
Wow, good job, Mandy. You know more than I do.
This
How about this?
This one we got
There
in
you go.
Albuquerque.
Yeah, this one is not from Mexico, but it's from Albuquerque.
Well, it probably is
New
from
Mexico. It's made in Mexico, actually. I know where it's from. But yes, so this is an example. This is a heart that has a lot of Milagros on it, and it's got a heart one in the middle. If you look at my painting of her name is Milagros Corazon, which of course is heart. As you know, if you've heard any song written in Spanish, it has to say Corazon at least once. So I've shown her holding one of these, and it's got all the little charms on it. So the character with her face paint, again, it's kind of a Calavera thing. She's got lilies with her hair, so I'm using her to blend in with the character here. And here is the three-dimensional representation of her, the sculpture. Hopefully you can see her there. So combine all these things here, and this is the painting I'm working on now.
Those are things you personally like.
Yes, it's
Think
stuff
are cool.
stuff I like, things I'm interested in. I like referencing things from one painting to another, so it gives a feeling of these things match. This is the same story. This is that character's story. It's continuing on. Maybe this is her when she's a few years later in the first one. Who knows?
That was a very cool place we went to in Albuquerque.
Yeah, it's in the old town. It's the mission there in the old town.
It had a neat
Albuquerque.
church and a kind of
Yeah,
like a
the mission
plaza
church.
area
The
and all
mission
these
church
stores.
there is really old. It's
And really
like
good restaurant.
hundreds of years old. The church is there, which is old for America. It's an old Spanish mission in downtown Albuquerque. We were there for the Stranger Factory Gallery, which is a really nice gallery run by our friends Brent and Olivia, and they have, or Kathy rather, Olivas, and it's a very cute gallery. And I think that's the first place I had my original paintings of these was at that gallery.
Really?
But, yes. Remember,
Wow.
I did the first Milagros ones there, and I did the ossuary ones there also.
I think so.
When we had the show
Yeah.
there, it was a group show
How
with
funny.
me and like 3 other people, and yeah, and I didn't even. It was weird. It was a weird synergy thing, and I think that's part of the reason I got the little heart to have the Milagros on it was because I'd done that painting for there. It was just a coincidence on so many levels, but
Yeah, those guys are really nice.
yeah, Kathy and Ben are very nice people, and that's a really cool gallery. It's on the old Route 66. What's the name of the street there? It's called now. I know it's not
Oh,
called.
I
Route
wish I
66.
could remember
Is
things
it
like that, but
Central?
I don't know.
I think it's Central. Maybe it's Center. I don't know. But it's whatever the old Route 66 is. If you go through, it's a very trendy part of town. Lots of little restaurants and galleries and little bars and places to go see music, and very nice. And that part, also, there's a lot of beautiful.
Oh, Nikki says that's where she first met us. It was
Oh,
a Stranger
there
Factory
you
in
go,
Albuquerque.
Stranger Factory.
That's the only time we've been there, Nikki.
That's the
so
only.
that's
Well,
the
I've
time
been
we're
there.
talking
I've
about.
been there before plenty of times, but that's the only time I've done a show there. Yeah.
I myself
Like,
had. I think that
Matt,
was my first
you
time.
haven't been
in
there
Albuquerque.
before?
No, I don't
We
think
hadn't driven
so.
through there before.
And what we also went on top of that mountain.
Well, I was gonna say there's a lot of natural beauty stuff around there. We went up Sandia Peak. They have a inclined railway that you can go up to the top of the mountain there in the desert. And if we were there,
That was
we were
fun.
there on my birthday. I remember.
Yay!
And we went to Petroglyph National Park.
That was awesome.
Wasn't that cool?
It was crazy hot, but
It's only 125 degrees out or something like that.
We brought
And we're
cans of
from
water.
Florida. We're used to hot weather, but it was hot. But
Yeah, it was. There is something to that dry heat thing, though.
Yeah, dry
It
heat
didn't
is
feel the
different,
same.
but
We
yeah.
weren't immediately covered in sweat. It took a while.
You were. I wasn't.
Jasmine doesn't sweat.
I don't. I'm
I think
magic.
it's because she's part doll or something.
Because I'm a mermaid. I live in salt water. What would be the point?
Oh.
See? Secrets revealed.
I just sweat salt water.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you get cozy to me.
Maybe so.
Reminds you of home.
Aw. But no, New Mexico is very far from the ocean, but it's a very lovely place to visit. They also had that, what was the festival that was happening when we were there?
I don't know. It seemed like there was a festival.
There was a lot
anyhow.
of stuff happening. Yeah, that's what I mean. There was a festival happening at the mission because there were all the girls wearing the dresses and things.
I didn't know if that was a weekly event or what.
You know, that's just how people do things in New Mexico.
Because there was a bandstand.
It
and
was
music.
it was a saint. Which saint? I forget. I should know this. It was a little
I
while
don't
ago,
know
but
saints.
yeah, it was really neat.
It was pretty cool though.
And that's one of the few places in America that you can go to that it's like, hey, this is from the 1600s, 1700s. It's before America was a country.
It looked pretty
That was a
darn old.
Spanish mission, so it was actually.
Oh, catch you later,
old.
Nigel. Get
Hi,
some sleep.
Nigel. Okay. Now when I'm drawing this, I've got to decide where does her dress end and her arms start. I'm trying to think how a person would look if they're kind of crouched down, which is why it's helpful to have the figurine here. Kind of using her again, like she's a little figure model here for me to look at. I'm gonna give her a little bit more realistic proportions than the character in the statue, but you get pretty similar.
Sometimes when you're chilly, you hold your legs like that.
Yes, I do. I've got several pictures of myself sitting like this, which is probably why I paint this sort of pose very often. Let's see. I show a little bit of her leg there, but she's wearing tights, so that's okay. A little skirt. You know, around this time, I might start thinking about the background because I would like to paint the background before I want to paint the main character.
Layla's heading out too. It looks
Oh,
like the
yeah. Are you okay, folks? Are getting sleepy.
Yeah.
Well, night-night, guys.
Night.
I'm glad you're doing better in your home, Layla.
Yes. Take it easy.
Yes, take it easy. Rest up. Because it is possible to paint a character and then paint the background around them. But it's harder, and you have to worry about messing things up or dropping paint on their face. And I like working from the back forward after I've made the main design element decisions of the character. I'm trying to think. I'm guessing my main light source is going to come from the upper left-hand side. Kind of like how my light is actually coming this direction. That will sometimes help me when I'm painting, just to keep that in the back of my head. When I am painting something that has light coming from the bottom side, painting to the right, for example, I'll sometimes put my lamp over that way and light it up that way just to remind myself. But she's meant to be a portrait piece, but so her main it's a 3/4 view, so the light's going to be hitting her kind of on that cheek, more or less. I want that flower to really pop. I want these 2 butterflies I've drawn in to really pop. And I want it to be clear that this arm is closer to you than her legs are, otherwise she looks like she's a big tangled up spider or something. But I want some sort of dynamic happening in the background, so I'm going to design, well, I'll probably just make it a fairly basic. This is why I don't like doing a whole lot of sketching when I'm doing this, because I change my mind a lot. I think I'll make kind of a vague horizon line at approximately eye level, maybe 2/3 of the way up. Again, trying to keep with the golden mean of a rectangle.
This is cool. I feel like I'm actually in an art class.
Yeah, see?
I'm learning something.
Yeah.
And this guy's, well, you're like, hey, Matt, you don't paint. What do you get out of this? Well, the thing is, what I do get out of it, besides enjoying watching my wife paint, is I can see those principles applied in pieces I might see at a museum or my friend's art, because they use some of those same principles.
Yeah.
And that makes me appreciate it more when I go to a museum, and I can see the hard work that the artist may have put into a piece, and I can I'm a better judge of art that way too.
Well, that's kind of true too if you're looking at art that is very different from other artwork. Like, let's say you're comparing fantasy art to something like a landscape or a still life or even an abstract painting that doesn't have any sort of realism in it. There'll be a lot of similar thoughts on the aesthetic sort of balance that you'll see in this, because there are things that the eye likes to see and there are things that the eye does not like to see. And you can use that to your advantage or disadvantage. If you're trying to make something very unsettling and you make it very unbalanced, like let's say it's like a Picasso or something like that in a very cubist sort of pointed sort of way, and it makes you feel kind of uncomfortable. That's the point of the painting, is to try to get that in you a bit. Then something like this, which is meant to be kind of a nice portrait, I want to make sure I'm kind of applying that.
Right. There are different ways to appreciate paintings. Jasmine was talking about something being unsettling.
Yes.
Well, does the emotion always have to be positive? Not necessarily.
No, it's like a poem. A poem can make you feel sad, or
Right.
can make you feel happy, or
Exactly.
make you feel worried, or make you feel kind of weird afterwards and you don't know what to think.
There
Paintings
is
are
that,
like that
one
too.
painting that I love with the face biting.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
And that one,
my gosh.
There's horrific. There's a horrific element.
That's at the National Gallery in
It is
London.
at the National Gallery.
Oh my goodness.
Who's the artist again?
I can't remember the artist's name, but it is the any other day I would know this if we weren't talking about it.
But there is a dragon biting
There's a
someone's
dragon biting
face.
somebody in the face,
And
it's a painting
brutal
from
looking.
a couple hundred years ago, probably maybe 180 years ago, and it's like, oh, what is it? It's a story I know. I think it's a Bible story. I can't remember.
I don't know, but it goes
I
on.
think it's from the Golden Legend. Yeah,
Yes, that guy's done for.
Yes.
But why do I like it? And I keep going back.
We always
and
say
I keep looking
Gamera
at it.
likes that one because she likes biting people in the
does like
face. She's our cat.
One of our cats like to bite faces.
She likes biting everything. Look at that. Awful. Oh.
And she put her paw right into my forehead, and I tried to move it, and yeah, there you go. She put her paw right into my forehead, and I tried to move it, and she just bit me like she owned it. She owns my forehead.
I'm telling you, that's why at nighttime she sleeps above us. She thinks she owns us. And she's in charge of all of us.
But since I've met Jasmine, and Jasmine loves museums, I've learned to appreciate these things more.
Aww.
And I like going to the museums. And Jasmine and I we'll sometimes be there for hours and hours. And there are times when we're careful who we take to the museum because we might stroll a little bit slower.
No, I just have to be wary if I take children. Nothing against children or people who don't go to museums a lot.
Right.
But sometimes, after 4 hours, they're like, "Hey, weren't we here to get lunch eventually? When are we gonna have lunch? It's 4:00 in the afternoon."
And I'm not saying that we don't take quick trips. Sometimes we take quick trips to museums.
Well,
but
to be fair, in places like England where they've got free museums everywhere, I'll go in for 5 minutes and just say, "Hey, I want to go look at Whistlejacket or somebody, and I want to go see a painting." But
we ask ourselves, why are we here? Why are we enjoying this so much? And it's just something that we enjoy. It's something I learned to enjoy.
Too, once you learn a little about the reasons behind things, or the history behind things, or the aesthetics behind things, it makes it more enjoyable. It's like watching a movie filmed in a different language. If you don't know the language, it's not as interesting. But if you know the language, all of a sudden it's more interesting to you.
So a lot of things are like that. I can speak very basic art.
Yeah.
I speak very basic art, but it has made me appreciate it more.
Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes Jasmine and I might nerd out a little bit when on our Twitch channel.
Well, I don't get to talk a lot to people except for my cats or if I'm at an art show, so this is pretty much my talking time.
Thank you for indulging us.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
And if you ever want us to shut up, just ask us another question.
Yeah, just ask a question and I'll see it in the room. I'm like, they want to know about our cat.
Yeah.
They want to know about something.
Yeah, that's fine
because
too.
That's the whole point. That's what I was trying
t-shirts? I will talk about that for 10 hours too. That is fine.
Well, we can talk about a Disney ride. I can talk about Space Mountain.
Ooh, I will talk about Space Mountain. Ghost Galaxy, as we're going to call it soon. We can talk about
underwater mountain ranges.
Yes. Well,
pretty cool.
They are. Are you trying to segue into your review of the Meg Pony?
Oh no, not at all. I was just thinking about that I did that.
Okay, just checking.
Ricardo says we took Gabriel to the Louvre when he was 6.
Oh my gosh.
And he loved it.
Excellent.
I told him there were dinosaurs hidden in the paintings, and he spent 6 hours looking at all the paintings.
There might be a few that do, but I'm trying to think. They have. Well. Trying to think. I think I'm confusing a couple with the National Gallery in London, but there are some dinosaurs in some paintings that you would not expect. My own paintings notwithstanding.
My favorite place inside the Louvre is the Apollo Gallery, or in French is Galerie d'Apollon. And I think it's like the best place ever. I could live there or die there or something.
I don't know. I don't remember if we talked about it, but some of you might remember the frame I did that was for the Porcelina mermaid painting.
We did talk about it then.
Yeah.
Actually, it was on the slideshow.
If you go back on my
YouTube...
Oh, was it? Okay. If you go back on it's probably too old to be on Twitch, but if you go to my YouTube channel, Jasmine+Becket, Becket has one T, Jasmine has an E, you might see us showing off some of the things from the Apollo Gallery at the Louvre and talking about how that inspired the frame that we created for the Porcelina mermaid painting I did for the Los Angeles show a couple weeks back. When the hell was that? Month and a half ago.
Oh, Jasmine.
Yeah.
Jokey mom says, I was stuck in traffic on my way home. I'd have my Twitch app on during the drive. Listening to your voices was so relaxing instead of being stressed out. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm doing something worthwhile here.
Siren Moonbee asked me if the Meg was okay to watch. I enjoyed the Meg.
I did too.
After I've already put up my review, I gave it nearly 7 out of 10.
I liked it because I enjoyed it and it had a lot of underwater stuff, but my standards are not the same things that people always look for in movies.
Much like how Jasmine is painting this, I like to look at story and what went into the story and how good the writing is and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and that's yet another language, obviously.
Yeah, it is. And once you know the language and the code for that sort of thing, you enjoy looking.
And you start to recognize patterns, what
like,
people like.
This is the hero's journey. I'm going to look at this plot line.
The hero's journey would be a very basic, elementary understanding of story. but it's still
Joseph
it's
Campbell
still fundamental.
Yeah.
It's rather than elementary understanding, it'd be a fundamental, a pillar.
A foundation to be
Definitely.
Yeah. Since I know this part's going to be a bit lighter and I know her hair is kind of dark brown, I'm taking a bit of Vat Orange. Again, Vat Orange is like my not-so-secret weapon that I use when I'm painting. If I have something that's backlit, I use Vat Orange because it is brighter red than any sort of red I get. It's called orange, but I think it looks like red. So I'm going to outline her head with just a tiny bit of that painted with a very soft brush with a whole bunch of water. So that's going to make it look how, let's say, you know, if you like have a flashlight and you put it behind your hand and it makes your hand look kind of red. The same principle goes for hair. If you have dark hair, or even if you have blonde hair, really, if the sun's behind you a little bit, it's going to make it look kind of red. So I'm going to go over that for the foundation layers here and make it a bit more red. I say I'm mixing it with water when really I'm just putting it in my mouth, but my mouth's full of water. So. And I'll do that with the butterfly that is kind of flying over her head. It's going to be a monarch butterfly, since that will match her wings. But if you take bright yellow and you put sunset behind it, or sunrise, we don't know yet, that will make it kind of a reddish tint also.
That was quite the discussion with your last piece.
Oh, yes.
Is this sunrise?
Yes.
Is she about to go to sleep, or is she about to wake up?
Yeah, I'll show that one again for those who didn't see. We finished her. That was
actually
working on last time.
The original. I'm sure there's other people who.
Yeah, if you want to see the original, yeah, this is just to print out. But we've got the original there.
I want people to see it.
Yeah, it turned out really cool. And it's the original's already sold, but I can show it off to you.
It is beautiful.
And we do got prints of it at strangeling.com.
I get so scared to hold
Don't
them
be
after
about
they're
that.
done. I don't know
They're
why.
wood, and acrylics are basically plastic. They're actually really tough. It's like the outside of your house tough. Anyways, I don't know about how bright the lights are on here, but yeah, that was a very good example of this because she is a vampire. So if it looks like she's waking up, that is not sunrise. That would be sunset because that's when she gets up at the night. And
she is gorgeous.
And her little dragon, he's got little teethies there, so I think he's a vampire too. So.
She is very gorgeous.
Yeah,
she kind of looks
turned
like
out
you.
so pretty. I love that. A lot of them do sometimes.
That was a backwards
Even if I don't mean them to. The dragon or the girl? I think the dragon's a boy, but I don't know how to tell.
The dragon looks like...
I think you have to do a blood test on dragons. They're like parrots.
Milo.
Yeah, it does look like Milo. Well, Milo's my nephew though, so that makes sense. Yeah. He was at the Ren Fair.
I will tell you what. Okay.
Oh my Milo.
Our nephew Milo was there.
He's
not
little,
Fox, no, don't
not
confuse him with
Fox.
Fox and Willow,
Fox
who
is
I was
very
able to
grown
hang
up
out
and
with.
distinguished for.
Milo went in
yes.
there. The first thing he got
Milo's
was a
what,
wooden
3,
sword,
4?
and he hit
Yeah,
Chris
4.
right in the knuckles with it.
Yeah.
And his hair was so sweaty the whole time, and he was just grumpy the whole time. And he was like,
No, he's still almost.
I felt bad for him.
He's almost in toddlerhood, so he's that's the time to be grumpy if you're, yeah. It's not like he's 15 or something. He's a little fella.
I'm sorry if I was getting too mushy. People were saying that was so sweet and stuff.
Oh.
Well, I guess maybe I'm not sorry. Maybe you guys.
You're not.
I'm not sorry. I told you that you were. I think you're very, very beautiful.
Thank you, man.
I tell you that constantly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't mean to make you shy. I'm sorry. The Renaissance Fair was great, Heather. Heather's in the room.
Oh, yes, Heather came.
No, Heather Hitchman.
Oh, Heather. Sorry, Milo's other auntie Heather was there too. But yes, Heather Hitchman was there.
I didn't see her.
You weren't there. That was the time I was there without you. The weekend before that.
Oh,
yes.
I see.
Heather
I see.
and Riker and Brian came.
Heather is a very popular name.
Yes, I was gonna say she's a sister-in-law of mine. So. But yes, sorry, you're talking about Milo. I thought.
I apologize.
But yes, aw.
But yes,
Heather
was asking about the
Hitchman,
Ranger.
Terratoff,
Yes.
also a very wonderful artist. She's up here at Twitch sometimes. She's also on Patreon. Look her up, Heather Hitchman.
I'll go ahead and I can
Give her a shout out because she's
Sure.
awesome and she's doing all sorts of cool Inktober stuff with dragons and things. So definitely worth checking out.
productive.
And if you like watching people paint, and she does neat things on computers and things that I don't know how to do. So if you like that sort of thing, you might like her more than you like me because I don't know how that stuff works very much.
73 patrons. Very good.
Oh,
She's
very
beating
good.
me.
Yeah. You need to paint more, Matt. That's what you need to
I've got 49, I think, which
yeah,
is
that's pretty good, man. Yeah.
Thank you all who are
Yes.
patronize me.
Yes.
And check out Heather's
we're
work.
patronizing.
Heather's work
Yeah.
is also fantasy art. It's very different than Jasmine's, and she is kind of world building focused.
Yeah, she's created her own universe called
Yes.
Terratop, and she does.
You guys need
very
to come to
neat
Massachusetts.
stuff.
We call it Taxachusetts. No, we don't call it Taxachusetts.
I don't think I've ever called it that.
I don't even know.
I think that's
honestly,
something from the 1970s.
I don't even know what that means.
Sort of, yeah.
What is that reference to? I've heard that. Is it like Boston Tea Party?
I don't.
Is that why they would call it Taxachusetts?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if it's something from the 70s or something
very
from the
welcome,
1770s. But
Yeah. Sometimes my references go way back. Yeah.
But yeah,
Boston
Heather's
Tea
very
Party,
cool.
maybe. I don't know. Working on a coloring page for Patreon right now.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Speaking of which, I should probably tell you guys that I have a new one. I'm not trying to one-up you here, but I have I have a new one that I'll probably be putting out. I'm doing the Hazardous Beauties, which is one I painted here on Twitch. The one that has the two girls with the gas masks and the Hieronymus Bosch painting in the background. That is going to be a coloring page, and we just
I'd like
finished
to see
it.
what people do with that.
Yes, I want to
have
see how people color it,
ton of
because that's
different
one that
combos.
we're going to be popping up. I think if not tomorrow, maybe the day after.
What I'll do is I'll put up a link for the
Put a link to the paint, because they might not know the name of it. I don't even remember if I knew what the name was when I painted it, but it's one I painted
if
here
you've
at
ever seen
Twitch, but I
Jasmine's,
had the coloring
another-
page.
Sometimes people call them Jasmine's Biohazard Girls, and
The ones that have gas masks, usually with the biohazard symbol. I've done some with like a skull and crossbones, and it's the first pen I ever did was.
And you certainly painted it
one.
here.
Yes, and it's
On
one I painted on Twitch. I remember working on Twitch, but I don't remember if I had picked out a name yet. It was one I did for the Magical Thinking Show. But anyways, Sonia, my stepsister, who does a lot of my graphic design, just finished the PDF file version of the line art for it. She does the computer stuff for the coloring pages that I don't know how to do.
For the
so
color,
it's all done.
the coloring enthusiast, I can see a lot of different
you
ideas.
could go
You could
so
make
many
it-
different directions with that line
I
to
think
color in.
I would, if I were to do it, I would make it the glow. I would try to figure out how to make it glow.
You could get like glow in the dark paints and do it. I mean, you could
That's
get
true. I'd make it glow green.
you could
I
make
think
it glow purple. I mean, yeah.
purple would be good too.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you could really. I'm looking forward to seeing people up in the coloring book group and the Patreon group to see what they do with it. It's going to be a Patreon only coloring page, but if you're not a member up there, a lot of people. Every day I get people asking me, if you pay the $5, you get all the coloring pages. Not just like this month's, but like all 45 pages or whatever. You get all of them at once. And then you'll get all the ones after that too. So if you keep subscribing. So it's like $5 for a free downloadable coloring page thing. And all the other Patreon stuff, which is, I'm sure as people will tell you, is pretty awesome.
Awesome.
We do surprises up there, much like how we give raffles at Twitch. We give surprises at Patreon.
Surprise!
Yep. We can't do giveaways at Patreon because it's considered gambling in certain parts of the world. We just give surprises because we can't gamble.
Kelly Sarah says, "I've got scented pencils, so mine will smell good."
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
that's true, Kelly. If I did one and it looked crappy, at least it would smell good, right?
Good. Yes. And they make scented markers and scented pencils.
I used to love
get the
those
markers
as a
all
kid.
the time.
I used to love scratch and sniff stickers so much.
Oh yeah, we used to get them if we
Oh
got
my
a good grade
God,
on
I
a
love
paper. I remember we had
The only reason I
we had
made it through
Garfield
elementary
lasagna
school.
ones that smelled kind of weird, but I kind of really liked.
I like the
sticker
pizza
for it.
ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I ate one once.
Ew.
I ate a pizza.
I probably did too.
It was so good.
I eat a lot of non-food.
I just
things.
kinda
That's a
chewed it
problem.
all day.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Lainey. How are you?
Hello. I'm going to put a little bit of that orange highlight on the front part of her bangs. It's going to be purple too. So you'll be able to tell that that's a different part of her hair than the main dark brown black part of her hair. That will also help make it look more three-dimensional, as if that part of her face is sticking out further than the back
That's
part
not
of her
up on
face.
us.
Oh, is
Jasmine.
it already? Oh,
Yep.
which one is it?
And that
It's
is
the,
Jack and Sally.
Oh, the Jack and
notebook,
Sally
I'm pretty
notebook
sure.
from
Let me double
Disney
check.
World.
Yep,
Yes,
Jack and
yes, yes.
Sally
It
notebook.
definitely is, because I set it over here by me.
Yay.
And this is from Walt Disney World. They also have them at Disneyland. This is my official Jack and Sally Tim Burton artwork. And I will sign it too. It's a lovely journal. Some people also are just framing them and using them like a print. I won't tell anybody. But you can get these at Disney World, at Disneyland, throughout the different Disney galleries.
We have a winner.
And who's our winner?
Defiance.
Defiance. Yes, good name.
I will.
And it's
Spelled
got
cleverly, though.
It's got 0, and it's got Sally's cat too.
Hopefully
Aw.
Defiance is in the room.
Yes, if you're in the room, please contact us. Email us at jasminetoad@aol.com, or you can email me at jasmine@strangeling.com. Either way works. It goes to the same little box of emails that we have half a dozen people looking at any given time, so it all goes to the same place. But there's my Jack and Sally. And if other people would like these, they are available online at yourwdwstore.net or .com. I forget what it is. Matt will post a link to it in a little bit, but you can buy them online. Or if you're in California, by Disneyland, you can get them at Disneyland there. I know they have them at the Wonderground Gallery. If you're there on October 12th or 13th, I can sign them for you. Or here at Disney World, they have them at the Wonderground Gallery at Disney Springs, and probably throughout the parks. Wherever you see Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, you'll probably see it there. It's part of the 25th anniversary for Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yay, Defiance, if you're in a room, just follow those instructions I just put up there.
Yes, and then we'll know how
and
to
I'll
contact
put up
you.
that link that Jasmine just mentioned.
Put the link up there because
Sure.
your WDW store people will get them from Disney World and mail them to you wherever you live in the whole wide world. So that's a way you can order them too. And these are officially licensed and printed and made by Disney, approved by Tim Burton, licensed by Nightmare Before Christmas, and are part of the 25th anniversary celebration. So it's kind of a limited time only sort of special merchandise product that's there that I've created for Disney.
Your WDW store.
Hey. Yeah, it's a nice little journal. I don't know how many pages it is, but it's pretty thick. It'd be a really good address book, or it has lines in it, so you could use it as a sketchbook depending on what sort of art you do, but it'd be really good for like a journal or like diary or address book sort of thing.
So Heather says, guess what?
What's
You
that?
talking about the Ren Fair really inspired me.
Woohoo!
And now I'm going to be going to the first Ren Fair in just a few weeks.
Awesome!
Fingers crossed.
Oh, very cool.
Hi, Lady Dracula. How are you doing?
Hello, Lady Dracula. We're getting ready to go to Whitby, Lady Dracula. It's funny how people talk about Dracula a lot when they talk about Whitby, when really it's not where the main part of the story takes place, but that's where Dracula comes through when he is traveling via boat to come with his coffin of earth and all that.
Often of
Yeah.
kind of sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like the name of a painting.
Well, he has to, hey, you know what?
He has to
It
have
does.
the
He has to-
soil of his homeland.
Yes, he has to have it there around him.
Man, it would suck to be in
It's true.
space. You'd never
I
get any
know.
sleep, and the sun's always out.
I'd say that's why it'd be hard to have space vampires, but I think I've seen a couple
They're called
of...
space pyres.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've seen movies and books that are space vampires, so
Yeah,
it's
we
a
saw.
thing.
What movie did I see?
We saw it.
What
was
movie
it
has a
called?
space vampire in it?
We saw one,
Okay.
oh
Peter,
wait,
we'll see you
Sunshine.
then.
Oh, awesome.
Next
Can I
week
come
at
see us?
Disneyland, gonna pick up one and have Jasmine sign it.
Excellent. Yay, I would be happy to.
I'm gonna stand in line for Jasmine just to see what it's like. No, I'm joking.
No.
Dracula 3000. I didn't see.
I didn't see that one, but that was in the future, right? And that was
I don't know.
Ken Spacing's.
I've seen so many vampire movies.
There are also movies that have kind of vampire sort of themes to them that take place in space that aren't necessarily.
There's that
vampire.
one. Okay.
Remember Sunshine? Or what was it called?
Okay, what is that?
Sunshine? Oh wait, no. What was the name of it?
Sunshine is
That isn't really.
it's no vampire. It's just
no,
about the sun.
That's just a scary guy by the sun. Yeah.
Dracula 3000 is on a spaceship.
Yeah,
Bad.
it's
Oh,
in the
it
future.
sounds great.
I was gonna say my fine line between
Yeah,
great
we'll see
and
you.
terrible is very like what's that? Love?
I said, "Yay, Kincher, we'll see you." They're very excited.
Oh, awesome! So we'll see them at Disneyland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that will be the 12th and 13th of October. So it's not this coming up weekend, but it's the weekend after, yeah.
Lady Dracula says, "Have you seen a good one? Still looking for one." You
A
know,
space
I have
vampire
a
movie?
guilty pleasure. Queen of the Damned.
Okay, along similar lines, how about Star Trek Next Generation, Tabula Rasa? The one that is based loosely on the Anne Rice story, and it takes place in space.
But those would be the
it was more
witches.
like Lasher. It wasn't more like, but it was still Anne Rice themed.
Well,
And they later had to credit Anne Rice.
I wonder
in
if
the
anyone recognize it, because I didn't know that story, and you're like,
I did. I was like, this is Lasher by
And I
Anne Rice,
think
but
that
it's in space.
your
And,
stepmom
yes.
Robin noticed it too.
Maybe
or
so. I don't
could
know
have
if she read that one.
Maybe I
I
have
talked about it to.
mixed up.
I don't
with someone
remember.
else.
Maybe, but I don't know. But yeah, Tabula Rasa, the Star Trek Next Generation.
They had to
And
eventually.
they had to credit her
Anne
in
Rice in
the
the end.
after when it was on syndication, like when it went to Fox and everything. They had to credit Anne Rice in it because they got the idea from Anne Rice, and I was like, And it's Beverly Crusher as the main character, and I liked her a lot when I was little.
My favorite TNG episode.
do.
It's not really my favorite TNG episode. Is the one where Wesley Crusher walks on the grass or falls on the grass.
Oh yes.
And they're going to
It
execute
looks like
him.
it's filmed at Epcot.
It does look like Epcot.
Yeah, I like
And they're
that.
going to execute him because there was a
It was a
There's a zero
utopia
tolerance.
sort of.
dystopia. A utopia
It
slash
was a
dystopia.
utopia, but it was a one strike and you're out for like
But-
walking on the grass.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Oh
just
my
plain
goodness. Yeah.
they'll kill you for walking on the grass on that
It was
planet.
like a
And they all
bad
went around
George
in
Orwell
Roman
story
robes and stuff.
from
It was great.
pseudo 1984 thing, but it was
Yes,
yeah.
it was very. I would say it was preachy.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I remembered it, and I saw it when I was like I was like 12 or something.
That second-
I was
that
like, oh my
second
gosh,
season?
they make such a good point in
Is
here.
it second season?
It's second season.
Wait,
I
no,
think.
no, maybe Tasha Yarzik.
No, wait, I think it was second.
I don't
season.
remember.
I
don't know
didn't
if
see
Tasha
them in
Yar's on that
order.
one.
I just watched them in syndication because I was little then.
I don't know. I'm sure we have some Star Trek nerds in the room that
Probably,
would know.
but no, I don't care if it's what people consider a good or bad episode. I love all of those. Those are my friends growing up, man.
Oh, totally.
Okay, so I think I'm
Those in the
definitely-
Dragonlance.
Yes,
group.
Dragonlance, yes. Especially Raceland, because he was so friendly seeming.
I was a Piers Anthony teen boy
Ah,
myself, but I think a
oof.
lot of teen boys are
Yeah.
the Anth novel.
Probably so.
A lot of scantily clad girls in the
Yes.
there. But not enough to be overly like my kid shouldn't read
Depends
this.
on the book.
It's a bit.
but yes.
a
Not
bit-
not the Xanth ones. His
Yeah.
other ones, no, definitely not. Jesus Christ, but no.
No, it's a bit teasy.
Yes.
But
yes.
Good for.
I would not talk.
I would
yeah.
recommend it, Theo.
There's a long thing happening with him right now. Not
Oh.
Theo, but Pierce Hansen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
don't-
I'll show
no, it's not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
No, I mean some of his other books, not those. Those
Oh,
are
okay.
fine.
Huh.
You can Google it.
I'm okay. I don't need to go.
But no, I read all those too when I was growing up. But no, I really liked a lot of the Dragonlance books. That's how I got into Dungeons and Dragons, actually. That's how I got into fantasy art. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. I put a lot of orange on here. I'm bringing some more onto these butterflies. So I remind myself that butterfly's close, that butterfly's close. Her wings are going to be kind of behind these butterflies. So if I use really bright white, like if I put little white dots like you do, here, I'll show you on here. Like a monarch butterfly has around the edges, little white dots. The white dots I put here won't be as bright as the white dots I put on the butterflies in front of her, because these ones will be closer.
Oh, Tigger has met Piers Anthony.
Oh, he's from Florida too, isn't he?
Yes,
That's why
they
Xanth
lived in
looks just like Florida.
Mhm,
But yeah,
yeah.
I read all those. I liked
The mermaid also loves Piers Anthony and the Xanth novel.
Oh yes, in the Incarnations of Immortality.
Those are very good.
I read those growing up too, and I liked Man from Mundania a lot.
Oh, the Xanth novel.
Yeah,
What's his name? Gray.
Gray, I think.
And
so.
his power was that he could turn off everyone's power.
Yes, that's why I
It's
liked
kind of
it.
like Leech from X-Men,
Yes, exactly.
which I noticed right away. I was like, oh, this is like Leech from X-Men when I read it.
There you go.
I'm sure a lot of other boys.
Well, it's one of
my
those
age thought the
powers
same
that would make sense. It's like a
Well, that's why he
in
didn't
D&D
realize he
we
had a
have
power.
a spell of not cancellation, negation. It'd be,
Wait,
a
maybe it was
circle.
the opposite. Maybe it wasn't negation, but
He-
there was somebody who had a ball.
He could take spells.
Around
He could
them.
take the talents from other people and use them.
Huh. I don't remember that one. I don't remember.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's probably a wiki about it somewhere.
Yes, everyone born in Xanth has a magical ability,
A
whether
talent,
it be,
yeah.
Yes, magical talent, whether it be
Yes.
silly and dumb, like being able to change red to yellow, or something amazing like mind control.
Yeah, a lot of them are better than others. Much like in something like X-Men, it's like I can see that coming in handy, and it's like, well, what if that happened 500 years ago? How would that be helpful? You know, I don't know.
Oh, like what power?
Anything involving technology.
Okay, so in the TV show Heroes, there was a little boy.
Okay, that's similar. Okay, yeah.
Okay, and
there you go.
he could just go up to like an ATM and he could talk to the technology, and then
Yeah.
he could tell it to give him a bunch of money. It wouldn't have made any sense like in 1970.
Unless it was something that is done on a molecular level, and it was like alchemy, and you could change the actually atomic makeup of something and turn lead into gold or something like that.
That'd be
You
like
could- yeah.
microscopic weird telekinesis. Like you
Well,
could
what are
switch
you
things
doing
around.
if you're talking to an ATM? Are you not talking
I
to
don't
the
know.
nanotechnology
It's magic.
of the microchip that's in there, or what? Okay.
It's kind of magic.
Yeah, it is. After a while, science becomes magic if it's on a tiny enough scale.
True. Or it ceases to be science anymore because we just like, oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like technology isn't
Well, it's like
impressive
how I
anymore.
used to understand how my computer worked pretty good, but I don't know how my phone works. You know.
Yeah.
I remember getting little electronics kits and soldering things, and I couldn't do that now. It's all too small.
Well, you were telling me about that interesting thing. If I had more time,
Uh-huh.
how you build your own funny little computer.
Oh yeah, oh golly, what are those called? I
I
can't
forget
remember.
now.
Because
that'd be an interesting thing to talk about.
Yeah, they're really cool. Not Ruby.
Not
Is it Ruby?
I don't know. It's you build your own
It's like,
funny
I think
little
it's a
computer.
gemstone name, and you can build your own little computer, and you can build your own little apps that go for it. It's pretty neat. It's all very open source to the very definition of open source. I think, is it Ruby? I think it might be.
I don't
Ruby.
know.
I don't remember. It's kind of neat, and it's something kids can do too. And it's like, oh, you can build your own little thing. It reminds me of getting little diode kits and stuff when I was little.
Right. If we had a little bit of free time, that'd be fun to build it together.
Yeah, but I ain't got
Raspberry.
free time. Raspberry, not Ruby. What
That
the heck?
Nintendo guy knew it because he's
Yes,
clever.
Raspberry.
And
Yeah.
somebody said Kano.
Well,
Maybe
there
that's
there
another
might be
one.
other ones like that. The thing with something that open source, it could be something that lots of people have created.
Raspberry
and maybe are doing
Pi,
that.
like
yes.
Pi?
Yeah, Pi, Raspberry Pi. Yes,
Like
sorry. I
Pi?
call it Raspberry Pi,
Math
but
Pi?
it's not. It's Pi. Yes, like
Raspberry Pi, huh?
Or let me go on forever. Yes, yes.
Very cool.
But yeah, you can even make your own little open source phone software for it, camera software, all sorts of things. Pretty cool.
Yeah, links don't work, Jay Weavis. Not in our chat here.
I didn't hear that. What was
I
that?
said links don't work.
Oh yeah, we had to turn it off because people kept putting spam up here because people are jerks.
Okay, it uses,
Everybody but you guys are
uses
jerks.
the Pi.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah, it's a really neat. It also teaches you how things work on a more basic level as opposed to, hey, push button here and it does stuff. Not everybody cares about that or has time for that, and that's fine too. You probably have a lot more interesting lives than a lot of us have.
Miss Dragon wants to know, says, I'm brand new here. What do I need to know?
Oh.
I read the rules.
Oh, you're pretty
Just
much
be
good.
nice and polite and
Yeah.
happy. This is a
And yeah,
this is a stream where we don't get too
we call it a positivity stream, so we don't
positivity
get too
slash
caught
chill
up
stream.
in grumpiness. If you're interested, we do giveaways every hour. If you ever want to enter the giveaways, you type !raffle, all one word, and that enters you into the giveaways. And what's our next one is for the little pin set.
Yes.
Ah, and it totally matches my character painting I'm working on today. This is the Dia de Muertos limited edition enamel pin set of Strangeling pins. It looks like a postcard, but it's filled with little pins that you can wear or trade. Some people would say trade, or some people say hold on to them because they might be worth thousands of dollars someday. I'm not saying that, but you never know. Some of them are. I wish I had some of those pins. I'm going on with, I'm using some of the light color I was using for the horizon line behind her, which is Titan Buff, mixed with a bit of the maroon and brown color that's on her hair to shade in her face. And this will be the kind of, like Katrina Calavera sort of, the skull face paint that you see on the figurines that I've done. Obviously, she's got darker skin than that, so it's going to show up like makeup on her face, kind of.
Right. She's really good at putting the makeup on.
Yeah, much better than I am. I can paint pictures of makeup all day, but I am not good at putting on makeup.
Oh, Miss Dragon says those are awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, for those who don't know, I do these same characters. I have a whole bunch of them as little figurines. These are all from the Bradford Exchange Hamilton collection. Yeah, put a link up there. You can get them worldwide at Burning Desires. We have quite a few new designs of them coming out. We've got some that are teacups and some sitting on skulls, and we've got all the paintings of them up at strangeling.com. And this will be a new painting. Probably, I might be working on her still. I'll be back here on Tuesday of next week before we leave for California for my Disneyland show. And I might still be working on her. I might be finished. If I'm finished, I'll show you how she turned out, and we'll show off the prints and everything. But you can always keep an eye out. My Facebook, Instagram, website. What else do I got? I have a Pinterest, but I don't really know how to look at it. I just kind of post pictures at it. I hope people see it.
Experts say that if you work, it's usually no one can handle more than 3 social media themselves.
I've got more than that, but I mean, I don't really. I mean, I know I have a Twitter, but I don't post it. I basically, my Facebook posts to my Twitter, so if you ever send me messages there, I don't know if you message me. If you want to message me, do it through my website or through email. Because I like my Instagram, for example. Somebody kept saying, oh, I kept sending you a message on Instagram, and I have this ancient phone, and I have an old version of Instagram, and it doesn't even have messaging on it, so I don't know if you messaged me or not. So if you have something important to say, like, oops, I used the wrong credit card when I placed my order, or, oh, that's my old email address, not my new email, email us through the website. Don't use some obscure social media thing that I may or may not ever see.
Well, Mermaid's bummed that her sister and she can't make it down to Disneyland.
Oh, no.
We'll be there again.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry.
Well, we come to California quite often. We're there about...
More than I thought we ever would.
We were there like 5 weeks ago. I do a lot of things for Disney, so I'm very often at Disneyland, California. Also, too, my main fine art gallery is the Corey Halford Gallery, and that is located in downtown Los Angeles. And I do my big shows. By big, I mean like 4,000... 5,000 square feet, 2 years worth of artwork all in one place sort of things that hangs for a whole month. I do that every couple of years there. So hopefully I'll be doing another one there soon. Yeah.
Really cool show.
Yeah. I'll be taking part in some of their group shows coming up. That will be later this year. Actually, that might be one of the next pieces I work on. Might be for... They have something at the Corey Halford Gallery called the art collector starter kit.
Something very much
something
like
along
that.
Yeah, art collecting starter kit, something like that. And what they do is they ask all the artists who show work there to do a 12 by 12 painting, and they hang them all up there for a month. And they ask that people keep it. I forget what the price range is, but it's a relatively affordable one, as opposed to like the $30,000 big pieces we sometimes have there. It'll be a smaller, more affordable piece, and they'll have sometimes like 75, 100 different artists that they work with, and they'll hang them all up there, and it's free to go look at them. And they also have free snacks and free wine and stuff too, so it's kind of a fun night out in Los Angeles. But they will be doing that, I think, in November or December. So whichever painting that is that I'll be working on, I'll be doing that here at Twitch, and I'll keep you posted on that. They're also having me... What was the other show they invited me to? I don't remember.
Let's see.
I've got another show I might be working on.
I know
too.
other shows that you're... But them specifically?
Yeah, I think...
I don't remember, sweetie. I'm sorry.
Well, it's probably sometime in 2019 that one is, so I'll tell you about that one later. But yeah, they keep me pretty busy.
Dad is going to Cali in a few weeks, says Heather.
Oh.
And Miss Dragon said, I hope she'll be at Walt Disney World in December.
Me? I will be. I will be there.
Yes, you will be.
I will be on the 22nd of December. I am doing a show at the Pop Gallery, which is my non-Disney artwork gallery that is at Disney, if that makes sense. It's like at Disney World, but my Disney stuff is at the Wonderland Gallery, and my non-Disney stuff is at the Pop Gallery, which is the one by the AMC Theaters at Disney Springs here in Disney World. And we'll probably have this one here. If not, we'll have some similar ones from the same series for sure. Because they'll probably have a lot of my artwork out then.
Shellfog says they have a room for us if we want to come to Western Australia.
I would like to get out to Australia sometime. I've been invited a few times, but it's never been at a time when I wasn't already doing another show. I sometimes plan up to 3 years in advance when I'm doing shows, so if it's something overseas, it usually lines up with something else, and I tend to do things about once every weekend, which is why I say I kind of live in Florida. Like last weekend I was in
No kidding.
Kansas City. Next weekend I'm in California. The weekend after that
so
I'm in England.
When people
so
say,
it's
why
like,
aren't you where it's like,
yeah,
it's
it's like I'm not at home all day. I have 5 homes. So yeah.
I'm amazed we get as much work done as
Yeah.
we do, because it's very difficult to
Well, that's part of the reason I like to set up all of my studios pretty much exactly the same, with the same sort of paints, the same paintbrushes, the same sort of material. So if I suddenly am plunked down in Kansas from England or something like that, I can reach over and know where my Dioxazine purple is, and I can grab it right away and just use it right down, because it does get very complicated. But I think a lot of the reason I enjoy my job and I get to meet so many of you in real life is because I get to travel around and have home bases throughout the world. And hopefully I'll have more as time goes by.
night ref. It's almost. I mean, it's getting close to midnight there.
Oh wow, yeah. That's the other thing about being kind of worldwide intercoastal traveler, etc. is it's hard to keep up with the time differences everywhere. Me and Matt we never know what time it is. I don't usually know what day it is.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Our cats sometimes travel with us. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they have no idea.
She's turning out lovely. I'll pick her up here off the easel so you can see her a little bit better. That noisiness is the masking tape. But yeah, I haven't done a lot of work on her eyes yet, but I pretty much outlined them. Now the colors that are on her face that look gray now, I'm going to fill those in with bright colors, matching some of the characters obviously that I have painted before that are part of the same series. So she'll have the bright La Calavera sort of makeup on, and she'll have realistic dark eyes with a little bit of purple around the middle. I've decided to match the dyed purple streak in her hair. And the orange monarch butterflies will kind of match the tiger lily that's in her hair there too. I like to give people an overview in case they're just joining us now. Sometimes with a painting, I don't decide early on what the colors are going to be, and I just kind of decide while I'm working. But since this one is a portrait of a specific character, again, her name is Isabella, and she's a statue that is also available. She's one of the ones that's a statue before she's a painting.
Jasmine,
You can see her. She's super cute. Yeah.
how long does the Epcot show go?
Epcot
Someone said
goes
end of
for-
February they'll be there. Is that
Yes.
too late?
No, I think it goes from the second week of January, third week of January through the end of February. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
They might Google it. I don't know if they've released the dates. I haven't gotten them on my contract yet, but I'm sure I will be there. Usually Disney has me there maybe 8 times at Epcot during January and February for the International Festival of the Arts. And I will be releasing 3 new Disney paintings and probably some personal paintings as well. We're going to have Cruella. My Cruella painting will be there. My new Cinderella painting will be there. And also Tiana, Princess and the Frog, will be there. So those will be the 3 new ones that are coming out sometime during January and February. If I were to guess, again, they don't tell me until I get there, really. But they'll probably come out earlier in January, and then they'll have them throughout the Epcot Festival that goes through, I'm pretty sure, the end of February. And then those will be at Disneyland, at Disney World, and also at the online retail outlets like your WDW.com, etc. too. Unless it's .net. Is that .com or .net, Maddie? I asked
Which
you that.
one is it?
Your WDW, the shopping service for Disney Online.
Let me see, because I just had it.
Yeah, I knew you'd probably just posted it. And if you haven't, post it again, because if you
It's
guys
a .net.
.net. Okay, I think it might work either way, but if you go to yourwdw.net and if you
Store.net.
Yeah,
I'll put a link.
store.net. Yeah, put a link to it, because the link that Matt's posting, that will always show you all the Jasmine Becket-Griffith, my stuff that's up there. And if you're like me and you bookmark things and you check them every morning, you'll see stuff pop out like before anybody else does. And I don't know how they get things before everybody else does, but somehow they do, and it's all licensed, all official from Disney World. So that is how you can order things if you are in Australia or in the UK, or if you're in Florida and you don't want to drive all the way to Disney World, you can do it that way. Take a little bit of pure white here, and this is titanium white, which is the white I usually use. I use the non-toxic golden fluid acrylics when I paint, because as you see, I put my paintbrush in my mouth and my fingers in my hair and all that all the time. So I don't want to get poisoned. I love oil paints, but they're very poisonous sometimes. They have lead in them sometimes. So I get the non-toxic golden fluid acrylics. You can actually use them for face paint. Like, I have some friends who do like actually painting on people, like body painting, and they'll sometimes do some of the Muertos festivals and things, and they'll use the golden fluid acrylics to paint on them. I don't know if they recommend that, but they do say non-toxic, so
Yay,
it's like Play-Doh.
non-toxic.
Non-toxic means you can eat it. Don't quote me on that.
Doesn't
I'm not
mean
a lawyer.
you should eat
okay,
it.
yeah. Doesn't
Means
mean you
if it falls
should.
into your mouth.
Means you might not die. Yeah, as far as they know, except maybe in California where they have stricter rules.
You're just cursed there.
Yeah. I think everything in California is poisonous. According
Well, you
to
have
their
to,
science.
but the thing,
Better safe
the
than sorry.
products
Yeah.
that you use are good.
Yes,
because,
yes,
you have to fill out lots of forms.
I do. I have to fill
and
out
everything we
forms
do is
for
good.
Disney, making sure I don't have any conflict minerals. Like, I don't use any minerals from, I don't know, from Congo
those
or somewhere
conflict
that's
places.
got, somewhere that's in war, at war, and they have mining or something. I have to make sure I don't have any lead-based paints, no lead-based. Even in the frames I use, I have to make sure that there's nothing toxic in them. So in case somebody is at, I don't know, in California and they eat it, they want to eat the picture frame, theoretically they
People
could.
in California tend to just,
It makes
immediately
me wonder
consume
about some of
art.
you guys out in California. It's like, are you really eating the picture frames?
man.
I don't know.
This
Better safe
postcard
than
is
sorry.
tasty.
Yeah.
How's your postcard? Oh, it's all right. I've had better.
Yeah.
That sort of situation.
I'm sure that's it.
Sounds
take
like
some
a
of that
conversation between
right
two
there.
Muppets.
Yes, it does. But I'm going to take a little bit of the same titanium white, and I'm going to mix it with a bit of purple and also a bit of Payne's gray. I know it's called Payne's gray, but really it's more of a dark blue. Let's see. Here he is here. I've got them all here on my palette, pretty much. And I'm going to use that to start working the whites of the eyes. The white part of the eye, the cornea here, it looks kind of gray because that's the gesso that I mixed with some brown, gray, and blue colors in the background. I use that just so it's not a plain white surface. And if I gesso it, a piece of wood or masonite like this, that will make the acrylic paint stick to it better if I put a layer of gesso. I usually use the basics because it's cheap Liquitex Basics gesso, acrylic gesso. I mix it with blue, gray, brown, green, some sort of slightly off-white paint to mix it in with, and do a couple layers of that, and that will make the paint stick better onto the wood. It also creates yet an additional acid-free archival barrier between the paint and the wood, just in case the wood isn't as clean as it should be, although we're very careful and I sand it and all that stuff too. I just like to have a few levels of protection in between there. So I'm going to take some of that Payne's gray mixed with some of the titanium white, some Titan buff, and a little bit of the same, not the gesso, but the paint I mixed with the gesso to make this kind of grayish blue brown background here. And this will make the eyes start standing out a bit. Even though I'm going to be covering the whole thing with paint, The fact that I put a little bit of tint into the color in the background of the gesso means that if I don't cover the whole thing with paint, like let's say it's somewhere off in the clouds and I only has like 2 layers, maybe it's a little bit see-through, you're not going to see a bright white canvas wood grain or anything like that popping through. I want it to look like it's all part of the same painting. That's another part of the reason I like to tint my gesso. Let's see.
So Miss Dragon was saying, is this something that can be watched in its entirety?
Yep, it sure is.
I let them know that after the broadcast, you can rewatch it. Also,
did you give them the videos link?
I did not.
Okay.
I will.
It is look up there. It's Twitch .tv / Jasmine Becket-Griffith / videos / all. It should be in there somewhere. Or if you just go to my Twitch channel here and click on videos.
Well, they're here right now.
Yeah, it will. It should. Everybody's computer is different. Everybody's phone and tablet and everything's different. So I don't know what it says, but that link should be in there, love, somewhere if you want to pop it up there.
Trying to find it.
Okay. Or if you start typing in the URL, it should be there. Alternately, too, Twitch keeps them up for 2 months. So like 60 days or whatever after I do a broadcast, they keep it up there. If you don't see it up there, or if you want to see one I did like 5 months ago, you can go to YouTube. My name up at YouTube is Jasmine+Becket, Becket, just 1 T in Becket. And there's an E at the end of Jasmine, starts with a J, like Princess Jasmine. We have all of my 31 broadcasts, I think, up there too. There are also folks. Did you find it?
Yes.
Yay!
I just
and
opened a new
the one
page with
here
it.
at Twitch, they only keep it for 2 months. It is a slightly higher resolution than the ones that are on YouTube. YouTube kind of makes it smaller and not as detailed and not as high resolution because it's meant for people watching on their phones. But on the Twitch one, you should be able to watch on your TV, even if you have a big TV, and you can see a lot closer up details. But
Jasmine.
either way, you can see them going back a long ways. Yeah.
She at least has an odd already. I don't think the question really isn't that odd.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
good question.
I get a lot of weird questions.
No, this isn't
okay.
weird.
What is it?
What's the best way to seal / varnish
Ah.
a finished acrylic painting?
Well, I don't know if it's the best way, but I'll tell you what I do. I actually learned this from my stepmom, who likes to paint. She paints a lot of neat still lifes and things like that. I use this the right one. Yeah. I mostly use Liquitex gloss varnish, and what I do, and this is going to sound really tedious, but this is what I do. I get these type of rags. What's it called? Bagofrags.com.
It's not. Remember we tried that.
Oh, right. If you search bag of rags, you'll find it. It's lint-free rags. They are meant for auto detailing, like autos like cars, like so you don't leave fluff on things because if you get regular rags.
Yeah, it doesn't have any lint.
What's that?
There's no
lint
left.
in it, so it's very tightly woven rags. What I do is I soak the rag and I wring it out so it's a little bit damp, but not at all wet because I don't want any drip drops on it. I'll take one of my plates. I reuse my plastic plates over and over and over again. I'll get years out of use of them sometimes, but I will have a slightly damp rag. I'll do a layer of Liquitex varnish, and I'll just kind of do it really fast, left, right, up, down. Then I'll get my hair dry it, and then I will do it off and on, maybe between 15, sometimes up to 30 times using a hair dryer in between.
Yep.
And it's the sort of thing where I say, Matt, I'm varnishing this afternoon, leave me alone. And,
Definitely,
yeah.
You need to be on.
I'm on
the
cat
next
hair
thing you're
duty
doing.
all the time because of or Jasmine, if one of these horrible hairs falls on it, it's like, oh no, it landed on the painting, and I'll get my tweezers, and you can sand it if you have to, if something awful happens to it, and that's, yeah. And, or if cat hair comes on it, I can pull it off, and I can just sand it and redo the varnish, and I'll do a whole bunch of layers, and this will seal it to the point it is, I won't say it's waterproof, but it is water resistant. And this is a non-yellowing varnish, so it won't like look aged when it's old, at least as far as I can tell. I mean, I haven't had any of these for more than my 30-some years, but theoretically it should last for a long time, and it'll make it. I like the gloss one. They have matte finish, they have satin finish. Depends what sort of artwork you do. Sometimes it looks better if it's shiny.
I think she'd prefer matte finish, but.
Yeah, you, Matt. He's saying that because his name's Matt, in case you don't know who's watching. Okay. I like doing a gloss varnish because I think that works good with the acrylics, and that makes it look the most like the prints, because I tend to use a gloss finish on my prints also. And on our canvases, we use gloss varnish, and that just keeps it kind of consistent from media to media. But I like using a rag, slightly damp, with Liquitex, use the hair dryer. I think it says you're supposed to let it dry 3 hours between coats. I do not do that because I use a hairdryer. But also I am in Florida and I keep my windows open here in my studio, so it might be 98 degrees in here. I don't care, it doesn't bother me, but that makes things dry a lot quicker than it does other places. So you might want to make sure that you wait a few hours and do another layer.
Right,
but
every environment would be different.
yeah, if you're somewhere cold or but maybe the humidity is an issue, but I'll do a layer, dry it with a hair dryer, do another layer, and just keep doing it for several hours, and that will give a really nice finish to it. And if you use a rag like that, it will have a little bit of texture to it. It won't look like a piece of glass on top of it. I like it to look like somebody did it by hand because I did it by hand. Otherwise, I'd just spray it or something. But that way, it will have a little bit of texture, as the painting itself does. It will have a little bit of brush strokes and things, and that keeps a consistency from media to media.
Someone's asking about canvas in the room.
Oh yeah, I actually use the same stuff when I paint. I do paint on canvas sometimes. I only do it if it's a client that is requesting me specifically to paint on canvas or linen.
I thought they were talking about canvas
or
prints.
canvas prints.
Oh,
I thought they were talking about paintings.
I use an HVLP spray. Do you mean canvas prints or?
Do you mean prints on
painting?
Canvas or painting like the original painting on canvas? Because if it's the original painting on canvas, I use the same stuff, whether it's canvas or wood, or I've painted on stones before. I painted on linen. I've painted on masonite. I paint on MDF. I paint on a lot of different surfaces. I use that. With our canvas prints, or giclées, Disney has a roll-on technique that they use, like with rollers for the ones that are the Disney characters.
It's very similar stuff to what
it is very similar.
And then,
but for paintings, I use the same ones, whether it's canvas or anything. I use that one. This is not expensive. There are other brands that are probably very similar. I don't notice a whole lot of difference. The most difference is going to be whether it's gloss, matte finish, satin finish, and make sure it says non-yellowing, make sure it says permanent, unless you don't want it to be permanent. If you're the type of person who's going to come back 10 years later and change something on your painting, and you want to put a solvent on it and remove the varnish, change something and then revarnish it, don't get one that's permanent. This is very permanent, but so there are ones that you can remove later. Let's say I decided to make her have green wings 15 years from now at a museum or something like that. I could remove the varnish and put it back on. You can do that with this, but it's a lot of work. You have to have like an art restorer do it. It's also helpful if scratches get on the painting. If you have 15, 20, 30 layers of varnish on top, if you get a scratch on it, let's say we're mailing it to Finland or something, and they open up in border customs and throw it on the floor and step on it, as sometimes they like to do for some reason.
In Finland.
And no, we had problems with a few countries, but anyways, if they did, it's only going to hurt the varnish, and the painting itself would be fine. I've had people send it back to me and say, hey, the varnish got scratched, and I'll just say, okay, I'll just get a rag, rub it out, remail it, it's fine. The painting itself doesn't get hurt. So it's like putting a little clear protective layer on top of something. And we use a very similar product that is sprayable that we put on our canvas prints, like your giclées or canvas cuties or limited editions, open editions, stuff you get from Pop Gallery, that type of thing. Those are a similar one that we spray. Since they're on a print, we want to keep it vertical, since that's ink as opposed to acrylic, which is more textured. Ink is more flat. But yeah, I can go on about varnish forever. What's that, love?
That's some good stuff too.
Yeah, the stuff we use, the stuff that with the I always say the wrong thing. It's
M. Campbell says, "Do we need to varnish your painting?" No, we varnish.
Oh no, we varnish. I varnish my own paintings every time. I won't send anything else. Send anything out unless it's protected somehow. The only
thanks for asking.
The only time you might have to is if, like, sometimes on eBay people sell stuff I did like in 3rd grade for no apparent reason or something like that, and it's some old painting before I did this professionally. Then maybe you do, but 99.
Not if it's on watercolor paper, though.
Yeah, watercolor paper you shouldn't varnish it. If it's like a paper one, you shouldn't do that. I'd say just put it behind glass. That's your best bet. There are some sprays like There's some watercolor fixative sprays. They look like old Aquanet hairspray. You can spray them, and those will work pretty good. But some of those might have ink in them too. But so I would say just put them behind glass. If you get anything really old, not from me, but from people who knew me in school and are like selling off my old stuff or something like that, then yeah, you might want to
Selling off your old stuff.
Yeah, you know how my dad's always threatening to sell off the old artwork I have laying around in the basement and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, things like that. If I was like 17 or younger when I painted, I was not necessarily intending it for public display. It might have been something I threw away and a teacher might have kept. So you never know. That has happened. I'm gonna try to sell it later on eBay, but that's okay. That's fine. Need to kind of draw her nose a bit more. I don't want her nose to disappear. The thing with having almost a flat white sort of face paint on or makeup on that is a bright color or a light color or even a really solid dark color that's very kind of homogeneous on there, you don't want features of the face to disappear. So I don't want her nose to completely disappear here because you don't want a polar bear lost in a snowstorm sort of thing, like a solid white thing. Yeah.
Siren Moonbee's asking, are Twitch days just sticking to Thursdays for a while? Actually, our next one will be Tuesday.
Yeah, we have been doing Thursdays for a while, but next week I think we have to leave for California on Thursday, so next week's going to be Tuesday. And then I think the one after that is actually a Sunday. If you look on my main Twitch page, when I'm offline, it always has a, hey, our next two showings are, and I believe it is October 9th and October 21st. Because one of them, let's see, it's right before we leave for California, and the other one is in between when we're in California and before we leave for England.
And Penny Mouse just subscribed with a tier 1 sub.
Oh, excellent. Was that magic noise I heard? Yay, thank you
so
very
much.
much. I'm going to take a bit of that white and put it over the orange that's on this little butterfly here too. So since that's kind of being over in front of the lighter part, she's got really dark hair and she's got kind of a light background. So the part of the wing of the butterfly that's going to be in front of the background, not in front of her head, which is solid, but in front of the bright light of the sunset or sunrise, probably sunset, that's in her background. I'm putting a little bit of that same color on the monarch butterfly. I'm just going to smudge it around there. It's going to look messy now, but I'm going to use my finger to actually paint that.
Nikki said that her cleaning lady, I bought a painting off Jasmine on eBay a couple years ago when my cleaning lady wiped it with a dry rag.
Oh,
The rag came away with a lot of black on it.
Ooh.
Any idea what that could have been?
Was it a print?
Paint coming off, or could it have been that dirty? Might have been that dirty.
It was an original painting, then it was
Yeah.
probably somebody who kept it somewhere by candles, because I have seen this happen at other places. One was actually, some people will take like kind of pagan looking paintings and putting them like an altarpiece sort of setting that has candles by it. And if that's the case, that will be soot from a candle, or people put it over a mantelpiece in a fireplace or something like that. It could be soot from that also. It should stay on there pretty good if you just wipe it with a rag. And if it's something that's coming off, it's probably dirt that was on top of it.
Yes, because I wiped them.
Yes, because we wait.
Yeah, I wiped them.
We've
Any ones
had
I
them
have
get
over here
submerged
and-
underwater,
yeah.
and they've been fine. That's probably something that was on
Once-
top of the surface of it.
Once Upon a Midnight Dreary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they might have kept it somewhere in a room that had incense or candles, or in a church or something, or on top of a fireplace, or just somewhere that got really dirty. Sometimes if it's in a dusty corner or if it's outside.
Yeah,
even
because that
after-
varnish would protect the tar out.
Yeah,
of it.
and varnish will help protect that. That's kind of a barrier in between the two. For example, when we do some outdoor shows, like the Renaissance Festival, things like that, we like to keep things in plastic, or we make sure everything's varnished, because it will get very dusty sometimes, and dust will blow on things, and we'll take a rag across it at the end of the day, and we're like, oh, I'm glad I took that off. That's a lot of dust, but the painting itself should be fine underneath that. That's what they'll do at churches in Europe with paintings that are
Oh man.
800
Yeah.
years old, and they don't know, oh, these Caravaggios were actually a lot brighter, or look at this Leonardo da Vinci painting after we cleaned it, and all of a sudden it's got bright red and bright
It's
orange,
true.
and it's like, oh, wow,
I think those are so
didn't
funny.
know that, yeah.
It's like,
Or
oh,
the
I didn't know
Sistine
that they
Chapel.
like that bright colors. We
Yeah.
always assume that all these old Renaissance things are just
more
dark.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Sistine Chapel after they've cleaned up some of the Michelangelos.
well, and it's a lot of the people in the room probably know, and we have really cool Roman and Greek busts.
Oh,
Those
yes.
were once painted.
Yes, white marble Roman
Yes,
statues
it's not
used
like
to
they
be
just had a
painted
bunch
bright
of white
colors.
marble
Yeah.
or white.
I think they look classier when they're all white colored
Well, I think that's what
marble,
we-
as opposed to painting bright red eyes on them and
Yeah,
stuff. But
the
yeah,
plaster of Paris.
Yeah.
If you've ever played with that
Yeah,
stuff,
no.
but yeah, those were once painted,
Yeah.
and who knows what they look like.
Yeah.
But time.
Well, they
took
can
the
do
paint away.
this what's it called, spectrograph thing.
Oh, on paintings? And
Yes.
look
No,
underneath
no,
it?
no, no, no. On sculptures to see what sort of chromospectrometry. They use it like to see what sort of minerals were on a sculpture, to see what a gas spectrum. They use it in forensic files all the time. Anyways, and they can see what sort of paint was on it based on the lead content or the cadmium content, and they'll be able to see, like in an old Roman statue, what color it should have been originally when it was painted. They did that on the Egyptian sculptures too. A lot of those were
Yes, they were all
much
painted.
brighter. They were all painted bright blue eyeshadow and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, and
So-
a lot of people think of Greeks, Romans, sometimes even Egyptians as living in big stones
Big
and not
stone
having pillows and
museums.
stuff.
Yeah,
These
it's
people
like,
had furniture.
yeah, they had
and
pillows.
they
and
were
furniture.
humans. They weren't.
Just,
Yeah,
pillows don't last more than like 10 years. They just fall apart into dust after a while.
I think the porcelain statue is still available.
I think so. I've had a few people ask about it, and it's mostly been people who didn't realize how big it was. But the gallery is willing to ship that, so you will have to help go work with them to arrange shipping. But yes, contact the gallery because they will know for sure. They will know more than I will because they have it there at the gallery. And whoever ends up getting that, if it hasn't found a home yet, then you are really in for a treat. She is a beautiful piece of artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Putting a bit of yellow outside the orange. I thought the orange to the background was a little bit too harsh. I'm kind of mixing a bit of that titanium white, a bit of Titan buff, a bit of Hansa yellow medium, and some of the vat orange, and I'm drawing kind of a halo around her hair there. I'm
And
gonna
that
mix
is
that
some
up.
of the sunset.
Yeah, and I'm adding that to the butterfly wing. Again, it's mostly the one that's going to be behind her, not behind her head, in front of her head, but not showing the silhouette of her head behind it, so the light's kind of shining through. That'll make it look more three-dimensional next time too. I'll do it in the top bit of this butterfly wing here too.
Will
Yes,
her
oh,
wings
she's
match
lovely.
the butterflies?
Yes, they definitely will. The reason I have not started on her wings yet is I want these butterflies to look like they are closer to us. So I'm using some lighter tones in the butterflies, and I will be using some darker tones on the black parts of the butterflies than I am on her wings. So something that's higher contrast with a higher value white and a darker value of dark and a higher saturation of color will look like it's closer to your eye when you're seeing it. But they should match it. I'll show you again, if anybody's just joining us, here's the three-dimensional maquette over here, the little sculpture. So the wings will look approximately like that. I'm making them kind of match an actual monarch more. These are more kind of idealized into a fairy sort of design because it's the series. There are there are 4 of them, half a dozen of them I think we did. And they were different colors, and there was pink ones, and I think we had, what else did we have? Here we go. Here they all are. These blue ones. So they weren't necessarily monarch. She just happened to be the yellow-orange one. But I'm extrapolating from that to make this character into a butterfly-themed character, matching monarch specifically. In fact, it might be one, I've done a few of them that are, we were talking about monarch butterflies being endangered earlier. A lot of the times I do paintings that have animals or insects or anything that's endangered in them. I use them for fundraisers, and if I have it match a specific butterfly, like this is a monarch one, we might use this for a fundraising auction or something.
And that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I love little monarchs.
helping create the little hope stations for monarch butterflies. So
Get your milkweed out.
Exactly. Plant some milkweed. What's funny is animals like horses and cows will not eat milkweed. Like horses that
They won't
will
eat
go,
monarchs
they
either.
won't. No, they won't. I think that maybe that's why they won't. Maybe monarchs taste bad because they eat milkweeds all the time. I don't know. That makes sense. This is not a big beer. This is herbal iced tea, I promise.
I don't think anyone could drink that if it were a beer.
I remember we bought this at the Renaissance Fair, and people were saying, "My God, where'd you get that beer at?" Like they wanted, and it's probably
that's
hard to
because
tell
you're
on
at the
TV,
Ren
but
Fair.
this is like 2 gallons here. So basically, I fill it up with iced tea in the morning, and I drink it all day long. Then I know I've had my 256 ounces of fluid for the day. So.
And she has these gigantic straws.
Yeah, these straws are awesome. Sometimes I sit out on the ground and I connect like 3 of the straws together if I have to move my desk over that way. Right now I'm just using my windowsill.
I think Tina's asking about the charity pin.
Oh, the ferret one?
Probably the ferret one.
Oh, the ferret one should be out probably at the end of October, possibly early November. So I will definitely keep you guys posted here. And that will be the one for AFA, which is the American Ferret Association. There are a few other charity ones. Since I had announced that, we've gotten approached by a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean I've had to make spreadsheets to keep track of everybody. A lot of different charities, organizations, etc. that are asking me to do pins. So I'm going to try to make it within reason, because I also have to paint paintings and talk to you guys and do stuff like that all day. But we'll have some other charity ones coming up soon. But yeah, the next one will be the ferret one for the AFA group. And part of the proceeds will go to AFA to help out ferrets.
Because ferrets are cute.
Ferrets are cute, and it seems like they always need help.
They do.
Matt's mother has rescued
Poor little
many
deer
of
seem to get
ferrets,
cancer
and they
easily.
always need help. And yeah, they always have cancer, and they get a lot of problems. And I think they don't get a lot of the support that cats and dogs do, because those are more high-profile pets. But I think ferrets, I've heard that, at least, it could be not true, but I've heard they are the 3rd most popular pet in America.
Besides maybe something like fish.
Yeah, maybe it's the 3rd most popular mammal. I don't know. But I read it on an AFA website, so I don't know. Maybe they would say that.
Is the lighting in your painting something that you already knew intuitively, or was it something that took a long time to learn?
The lighting, it depends. Well, that's one of the things that changes painting by painting. Something like this one, I kind of decided... Golly, I think I was talking about earlier on when I was working on this one. It might have been last week. I'm just thinking about... I think probably it is something that becomes intuitive by painting a lot over many years. I've been painting pretty much every day for almost 30 years, so it's something you get used to looking at. The same principles apply to painting a bowl of fruit that does a fairy or a mermaid or somebody sitting there. You think about where the light is, you just decide where the light source is, and that is just random. You decide where you want to put it based on the theme you want to have. You want a sad painting, happy painting, bright painting, dark painting, and then once you decide where the light source is, or the multiple light sources is, then you make the individual decisions, like, hey, her hair is going to be dark there, light there. And those are the things that come intuitively after you decide yourself where the light source is. If you're doing something like a portrait, or something like a still life, or like a bowl of fruit, or something like this actually is very helpful. I didn't really do it with this painting, but sometimes when I have something like one of my own statues or figurines I've done before, I can set her up on a little table next to me and point a light at her, and that can give me a very good idea of how I want the painting to be lit. I'm like, oh, that makes her hair too bright. I'm going to light her from the back, and I can make those decisions based on that. I didn't really with this one, but it's kind of a combination of the both. Yeah.
Praised Writer just gave us 100 bits.
Oh, thank you for the bits.
Thank you so much.
Yay. But yeah, if it's basically decide where you want the light source to be, and then from there you make the decisions based on living in a human world and looking at light with your human eyes, and something you just figure out over time.
It's very human.
Yes. Well, other animals have different ways of seeing light, and other animals have very different sorts of eyes.
Very true.
Look at I don't know, dragonflies or animals that can see ultraviolet, or animals like bats or that use echolocation, or animals at the bottom of the sea. Everybody
You hear
sees
that bird?
different lights. Yeah, that's a blue jay pretending to be a hawk.
Blue jay is in our backyard going nuts.
Yeah. The blue jays that live in Florida, at least, pretend to be hawks sometimes. They make their noise sometimes like a hawk does.
It's a mock hawk noise.
A mock hawk noise.
Mock hawk.
Yes.
Praised writer says the painting is coming along, is looking awesome.
Yeah, so far so good. I'll turn around. I think a lot of this, it's hard to tell. I can't really see the screen, but I'll show you how she's looking so far. There's her little butterflies. You know, depending on how much time I get in the next few days, and I have another project I'm supposed to be working on too, but we'll see. I might be finished with her by the time I show you guys on Tuesday. Again, it'll be Tuesday next week will be our next broadcast time. And I think we're going to do around 4 o'clock Eastern time, which is 9 o'clock UK time, 21 o'clock UK time, depending how you keep your clocks. I might still be working on her, or I might be done. If I am done, I promise I'll show you how she turned out. I heard, especially since it does have an October-November theme to her for Dia de Muertos, I will want to make sure I have enough time to have prints available for people to buy her. So. Okay, they didn't. What are you doing, kitty cats? Are they jealous because they haven't been on TV yet?
Is there a birdie back there that you want?
Are they trying to get the birdies in the yard?
I don't know what Rio's doing.
They're indoors, so they can't actually get the birds. They're looking at the window. Yeah,
no.
we don't let them outside. No.
I'm not sure what she's doing.
They've been lazy all day, so they might just need some exercise. I just want to make sure a frog didn't get in or something. We've had to rescue a lot of small animals that do sometimes get inside, and we have to let them outside right away. I'm gonna do a little bit of a highlight, a little kick around on her bangs here. I think that will make the front part of her forehead look like it's a little bit farther out. Yeah. I'm going to use that same color, even though I'm going to use it kind of as a neutral shading bit, to start working in some highlights in her eyes also. Even though, like I said, I of course want to give her dark brown eyes. I want to give her kind of a purple around the middle center ring of her pupil, so it kind of gives it a little magical fairy glamour look to her.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm using a little bit of gold and not gold, it's Naples yellow and Titan buff. So when I paint over with a bit of purple, that will kind of look like a stained glass window hitting her eyes there. It look kind of very 3D magic-y fairy looking. It's the official term for it.
These are all our kitties are mutts. They're just rescues.
Yeah, they're just random kitties. All of them have been rescued from
And one of them is
alley cats.
just ain't right.
One of them is not right. I think she's half possum.
Something.
Yeah, so that's you guys have seen Gamera. She's like twice as big as a regular cat, and all she does is bite me in the face. And
She likes to bite our faces.
You see that? Yeah, that is horrible things all over my hands. These are from Gamera, and she sleeps on her head at night. She's a sweetheart, but
Just 2 minutes to raffle.
she's also very cross-eyed, which is adorable. But
So, Jasmine, do you want to show them the
yes,
the pin
let's
set?
see. This will be the pin set, and this really matches kind of the painting I'm doing today. And this is my Dia de los Muertos limited edition pin set. One of the few remaining pin sets. And if you are not a pin collector, this is a fun set to get because either you start off with 5 pins and you already have a collection, or you can take them apart and trade the pins individually, and it's like you get 5 at once. And I can totally sign this for you too, and I can sign it in the front or back. I'll see what makes sense. And it comes with all 5 pins, and they all kind of have the Dia de los Muertos theme. I'm trying to think. She kind of looks like her there. very similar. But you can also buy these on our website. We have just a few of them left at strangeling.com. You can find my other pins up there, or you can join up our pin collecting group on Facebook. It's free to just go up there and trade with people. And we have a pin collectors club at Patreon. It's $25 a month, and you get pins every month, and that way you make sure you get all the new pins when they come out. And we do fun things like give away original paintings and discounts, and you get to see paintings before other people do, and you get free prints at shows and other fun things too. I don't know, Matt, can you put a link up to like the Patreon group?
Yes.
The
what would you like
Patreon
me to
link,
do?
yeah. Because I know a lot of you guys are Patreon already, but if you're not, it is worth joining. I think all our Patreon people will agree to that. You get free coloring pages to download. Oh, is that the magic noise? That means the giveaway. Yes. So some lucky person.
So coloring page first, and then.
Oh, what's that?
You want me to put up the coloring page and then do the.
What's the coloring
drawing?
Page?
You said you want to do the coloring book
No,
page?
I said the Patreon group.
Oh, the Patreon group.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we do have coloring pages up at Patreon. So, yeah. But yes, and then somebody will win the lovely pin set. And then we'll sign the little card. It is numbered also. This is number 160 out of only 250 sets made. And with the limited editions like this, once we make them, we break the mold. So I don't use that mold anymore. So once you have these, you have them. And once they're gone, they're gone. Oh shoot, is it 7 o'clock then already, love?
Yep.
I know I need to get ready for my 7:30 thing on the conference call thing. Originally I was going to
Lauren Wright Artist has won the raffle.
Lauren Wright Artist?
Yes.
Excellent. Congratulations, Lauren Wright. I'm guessing you're an artist too, so good to see you here. And you are the winner. If you can, please contact us. Email us. Either contact us through strangeling.com. It's jasmine@strangeling.com, or email us at jasminetoad@aol.com. And Matt will send you a whisper here at Twitch also. So no matter what happens, we will do our best to contact you. But you have to tell us what your address is, what your name is, what your email address is, because we don't know. And Twitch doesn't tell us. Twitch is very private. We just know your Twitch name. We don't know your real name. So we need to know that in order to send you your prize. And we promise not to like sell it to advertisers or anything junk like that. So.
Oh God.
No, I hate stuff like that so much. I would never do that. But anyways, you are the lucky winner. And I'll show you guys a close-up of how she is looking now, because next time we see her, she will either be all finished up or I might still be working on her. But here's how she's looking now. So far, so good. Oh, she's gonna be so pretty. And very good theme to this year. I might try and make it look a bit autumny behind her, like maybe make some autumn trees or maybe some autumn leaves around her.
I like that you gave
Muertos.
really good info today.
Oh, good.
No, I felt like I was kind of in a lecture
like
class in a good way.
A not very professional class at school.
No, it was very good. And thanks for everybody who joined us today.
Yes, thank you all.
And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. And or maybe Friday to some
if
people
you're
that
in Australia or Japan or somewhere. Yeah. And we'll see you next Tuesday. And then we'll be in California.
Night. I'll come over.
Yeah, I know. We gotta get into work mode, other work mode. I got a lot of hats. Okay. Well, night, guys. Thank you for joining us. You trip over one of the cats there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Bye.